video, I would go to Twitch. Here we...
Aren't you just itching with childlike curiosity?
Yeah, curiosity is good. Go!
I believe in you, Jim. But there's not an ounce of humility in you.
You're afraid. I'm afraid of nothing.
And you're gonna get yourself and everyone under your command killed.
These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Their ongoing mission: to explore strange new worlds, seek out new life forms and new civilizations. To boldly go where no one has gone before. So glad the podcast is live. Warp speed ahead.
Welcome. Wow. What a way to kick off. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not here alone. Welcome to That Is Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. What a way, and a hype train is about to kick off. We are not here alone. We are with the legends of legends. We have the leader of the Sunday mic night, which is kind of weird because it's on Sunday and I'm kind of being on the mic. We have MJ Hat. Holy shit indeed. MJ Hat's in the house. We have the leader of the community mod himself, the icon, the franchise, the legend, the man they call Netniv. Ladies and gentlemen, he is here as well as Matako, Sniper, and I did say Shockwave Prime, but then Shockwave Prime disappeared. Shockwave Prime doesn't want to be here anymore because he's like, yeah, whatever, I don't want to do this anymore. Wow, do we have a lot of things to talk about. Thanks for the ring. That means the match has begun, which means, do we start with positivity or do we kick off with yesterday? Well, we have a hype train. So, while we have a hype train, I think we should be nice, shouldn't we, MJ? A little bit. Just a little bit, a cheeky bit.
The power of positivity will set you free, Nigel.
Yeah, it
Promise.
is a power, you know, I mean, like Brutus Clay. Oh, wow! Flossie with 5 gifted. Everything goes to charity today. Batsy Cat and Dog I did a video with them this morning. They were really awesome. Ooh, yes, curiosity, yes. Oh, Virtual Army again with 5 gifted. Thank you so much. We'll go for the bad to see cats and dogs. I really appreciate it. We do have a discount on. I really appreciate you all doing this. It's really helpful for the charity. I'll find a few dogs and we'll do little cuddle waddles. I'll be like, which is what you do to dogs, right? That is the language. I think is the language. Hey, Iron Fister, how you doing? And green tea's in the house. I'm actually having matcha instead. Yesterday was yes, Moose. We'd like to say the word. Quazel's in the house, but he won't join us on stage. He only does Dr. Iron Chef shows now. He did mention to me that is all he wants to do, and he doesn't want to be on our stage. So sadly, Quazel has decided to abandon us. And that is an amazing Top Gunner. Subscribed for 2 months in a row. That is awesome. Thank you, Josh C2222222 for subscribing. Top Gunner for subscribing. High Train is at level 3. We get to level 5. We'll throw in a little extra bit of marbles at the end. We get to level 10. We'll throw that. And Lost In! Ladies and gentlemen, the king of the 24-hour stream himself. Lost In with 5 gifted. How you doing, buddy? How's things? Kevins, how are you? Brian Racer is also here. Lost In, it's nice to have you here, buddy. We finally managed to make a time where you're actually available rather than this. And Hollywood Prime, Omega Prime is in the house in Discord as well. Such a Lost In move. Sniper with another 5 gifted. Thank you so much, guys. This is amazing. We're keeping things going. It's keeping things entertaining. It means we're going to have a lovely marbles. Today's a good day to die. Don't worry today. You haven't missed anything yet. Well, as this hype train is going, we'll keep it going as long as we can. I appreciate it. Always great to charity. I promised him to do that. Also, Simon Says, if Simon Says is here, put your hand up, buddy. You're one of the people that supported the Amy Winehouse Foundation with that laptop. I really appreciate you, and a couple of people anonymous as well. Thank you, Pierre. Lovely with that one. That was really kind. I'm going to do a video with them. They're going to be editing some of the videos that they have made. J-Babes with another 5. Pierre with another 5. What's going on, MJ? Everyone's getting excited. John Deere. Simon Says, I love you, buddy. Honestly, I love you. In the laptop, I'm trying to get it engraved with your name and the name of the people that actually donated as well for them. So it'll be part of the Amy Winehouse Foundation. You're allowed to go there anytime. You're allowed to access any of the records and all that, and the lovely, amazing children that we've helped as well, which is absolutely kindness of you. I saw that on Throne. I was like, oh wow, okay, so someone did. I was going to donate it regardless, but if people wanted to jump in as well. The hype train is still going nuts, which is absolutely amazing. And Lost In is not lost in on his own, because he's actually coming in here as well, which is great. We need to get to G5 to G6 people to speak in Discord to share your views and your voice. Yeah, exactly. Anyone G5, G6, you are welcome on stage. We have G6 legends in MJ Hat and an iconic NetNiv, who does the community mod, which you guys all love and love and love. We will be donating next month's whole month towards NetNiv and the community mod. Hopefully we can help him. So any subscriptions, anything you do here, you know, we'll find a way to sort it out so that NetNiv doesn't lose it in some way for whatever reason. And Dominus Prime, love you, buddy. You're always
a great plan.
Okay, what's your plan?
As soon as the match bell rings,
yes,
ding ding ding, yes.
Yeah.
You will punch Corey straight in the groin.
In the groin? That's a NetNiv tactic to win. That's really
always
good.
In the groin.
Always in the groin. NetNiv,
that's what I call punching up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to win, right? NetNiv. I mean, it's not illegal, is it? Is it illegal?
No. It's my way of punching up.
Oh, punching.
You get it, yeah.
Someone's.
Stop being so short. Can we ban him?
Yeah, we can never ban NetNiv. NetNiv will always be here. Quazel, unfortunately, has decided to never join us again. So that's really sad. Quazel, we love you. We miss you. I can't believe you're not here. We're going to have to do streams that are like 5 a.m. in the morning just for Quazel to wake up in his healthy streak while he's eating an apple and coming up on stage. Quazel's like, what's happening? And yeah, it's, you know, I don't think Quazel will ever join us on stage. And even if he did, it would be really exciting, because it would be disappointing right now if in 3 seconds Quazel said a word.
I will never say a word to you again.
Oh my God, Quazel's here. How did that happen? That was a decent joke. Thank you very much, Brian Racer. Keep it going with the hype train. Thank you very much, Quazel, for joining us. You just made the list. Yes, he did make the list, which is fantastic. Quazel, I can now put your avatar that I thought I retired. Yeah, I know. Holy shit. Quazel said, don't worry, people. We will be speaking about it. Let's keep this going as much as we can. I'm going to add old Quasalinho into the picturinho. I think I might put him next to Mactacarino to see how it goes. As Quaselhausen's in the house, still need to get a new mic before I can curse you with my voice tech one. True, get the Rode Pod mic. Never ban NetNiv, Floyd, we're not doing it. Right. Let's keep that hype train.
Smashing.
It is smashing. Let's keep that hype train going. We're level 8. Wow, level 8 already. Quasel, Surge, Concentrate. Well, did you try Surges today? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know if you have a go in Surges, but that'll be quite interesting. Let's start the topics while keeping on the hype train at the same time. So, the Borg Sphere has entered the game. Now, I know there are some questions that people want to know the answers to, which are they're frustrated about, and they want to make sure that it's really good. So I will just mute this for the people on stage so that they don't get distracted by the other things. The Sphere is an amazing ship. I will tell you right now, if I was me, with the information I know, I would get that ship. And let me explain why. So in the video, it gives you quite a lot of what it does. Yes, there is a loop, and the loop involves just the ship. So, what happens if you're free to play? If you're free to play, my advice to you is to continue on the same loop. However, you will be trying from day one to collect some blueprints for the ship. You might collect 1 a day, you might collect 2 a day. If you collect 2 a day, you can probably do it in 100 days. If you collect 1 a day, you can do it in 200 days. It's your choice how you do it. Don't worry about the credits that you have. The credits that you have, from the Maverick faction is what you use to get those, right? So that your day one start, right? Brilliant. Peace or assimilation, how you doing, buddy? Sphere is just SV version of bowling ball. Actually, no, it's finally the correct version of football. In the UK, we call football the real football. You guys call it soccer, so we use a sphere. You guys use the other shape thing that we don't know. How you doing, Broken Wolf? So that's what it is. Lady Patu is here. Patu is here. So, that's the amazing about the Borg Sphere. Why should you get it if you wish to spend on day one? It accelerates your loop. It's a fantastic thing to have. As you could see in the video, there's loads of great things that it gives you additional bits and bobs, gives you new credits, gives you more of the old credits, so on and so forth. There's loads of great things in there, right? So that's all in the video. And I have to say, the art department of Scopely did a magnificent job on the artwork on it. 40 seconds left in the hype train. We haven't got that much left. Let's keep it going. I want to get to 10 so I can give away something really fun. 10 subs away. Jump if you can. Dr. Iron Chef just jumped in. How you doing, Dr. Iron Chef? Lovely to see you, buddy. Nice stream that you just had. Absolutely outstanding. Keep going, people. Wow. Oh, a couple of people. Wow, Simon says has thrown a wobbler with 10. Wow, Simon, thank you so much. Lost in with 10 as well. Lost in. Finally managed to make it. You managed to give Natcha.jpg. That sounds like a fake person. Sorry, Natcha.jpg. Ostis got one. Viol got one. Sugar Red Lentless got one. Maflat got one. Jakers Grey. Psycho of... Oh, wow, you don't sound like a nice person. Martok. Archimedes. And Simon, you just did. And another 20 gifted. Jesus Christ, Simon. Says, what a move. Is the Sphere any good for G7 outside of access to rewards of the faction score, aka One Trick Pony? And Dominus Prime, we do not know. From the feedback on the... I only get to see the preview, so you're going to have to ask the official CCs of what they are and they are not allowed to say. I'm also... I would love the followers lost in. I am desperate in need for it. That would be amazing. So the more amazing thing... for me on the ship is I would get it because I want to accelerate this loop because I want to pull a lot of the very good chests that there are. Right, Quasel? What do you think?
I mean, it's a G5 ship, so a shit ton of all the new bonuses won't apply. And it's not even an FK ship, so no luck there either. I think it's kind of built for those non-new hostiles. I mean, we don't know what else is coming, so there might be a turn. But for now, it looks more like, a nice thing for the new loop. And there's some really nice stuff in there. I mean, the Prime Research.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks good. And other stuff. But, yeah. And where is it's have got even cheaper, the daily pulls from what we've seen in the beginning. So that's good too, if that's really in the release, which we won't know until Tuesday. So yeah, it's it seems solid to me. I mean,
Yeah,
does
I
it blow
agree.
me away? No, but
Well, let me tell
overall
you.
making
Well, from a
yeah.
person that knows minimal, right? You know way more than me,
Yep.
right? You got to play with it. You got to do everything with it. The
Mm-hmm.
people like me who are reading information get the information, and we're lucky to get the information, so I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I do like I do like the fact that you get 2 free refits. One of them is very interesting to see how that's going to work, but the other one, at least you can jump quickly. And at tier 4, people that are worrying about you need the biggest ops of all time, I can tell you right now, you don't need to worry about that. The task is very, very controlled, and if you look at the video closely, and it shows you the task of what the Borg cube tier is, based on the tier, the task appears clearly in the video. So go back in the video, watch the middle section when it shows you the tasks, look at the Borg cube tier. The tier determines the output of the task, so not the ops level. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, exactly like the Excelsior, the sphere. So the sphere, as you use it, and it sounds like as you go up, I mean, I don't know, because I don't know more than that, but in the video, it shows you 2 different tiers. It shows you one tier where it shows you the tasks, right? And it shows you that the task is 1 level, so you hit like, I think the first one we saw was like a tier 2, and you hit a 55, 56, which is nothing. You can easily kill it. That's amazing. Then another one you see is a tier 3, and it shows you that you have to hit a 57, 58. So based on how strong your ship is, you have to hit the hostiles by knowing that. And then, so it's by ship tier, as far as I understand it.
And of course,
yeah.
we know it. All those ships have what? Ops logs on certain tiers. So that's gonna be no different. But overall, it's solid. It's like you can have the tasks. I felt testing is rather easy to do.
Yeah.
But it depends how this. It's testing, and they always like to make tweaks at the end. But I can say the stuff we tested, it wasn't a big issue to kill the hostiles for most part I've seen, and but I didn't test all the ops ranges, and I have G7 research, but then a bunch of that G7 research doesn't apply to a G5 ship. So I think most people should be fine, but more on Tuesday, because we will test it immediately, and then we can tell you.
Oh wow, lost it. Thank you. I almost lost the time on there on the hype train. 11 gifted. Thank you so much, Lawson. That's really kind of you. But yeah, that should give you the information. So that should relax all of you guys. I told you, just give me a bit of time to look at the video, analyze it, so I can check what NDA part I can say and not say. Do you see what I mean? So, and that was the key for me. And also, I don't want to get any of our official CCs in trouble. So as long as it's in the video, as long as it's in the blog, I can say that. The increased barrier, as you know, as you go up the generations, it just another ability gets added. Same like the Borg armadas, the solo armadas. As you go up, there's another thing you've got to deal with, basically. Right, Quasel?
Yep. I mean, it's pretty standard, I'd say.
Thanks for the 1 bit ultra.
And
that was Klingon for I love you. It actually isn't.
It's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Everybody should be able to do it. And everybody needs to decide, okay, are the rewards for me worth it? If not, you're looking at the standard 100 days ish or more, depending on your income and your investment.
Yes, exactly.
Like always. It's like any other chip sourcing.
Yeah, the thing that people are going to have to be wary of is that there's a lot of good stuff in the store. So you do want to get Cochrane up, right? So that's a priority. You do want to get as much research as possible. So that's another priority. So why would you get the ship? I would get the ship because if it increases any loot whatsoever, I would get it. So check day 1 whether it does. The moment it does, I would go and get it because, I know we've seen epic whatever loot things in there. And we saw that it's got its own tracks of tasks. Oh, Eddie Finil gifted 5 tiers as well. Thank you, Eddie Finil. I can never say your name because you're Dutch and you confuse me. But thank you very much for the 5 gifted. Day 1 for sphere tiering for loot. Yeah, the loot will be amazing. You do not have to worry about I've got to hit a 73 or whatever it is when you're 73. As you saw in the video, in 2 separate occasions, there is one tier that shows you one level, which is great, another tier to another level, exactly like the Excelsior. Increasing the rep is going to be the biggest deal. That increased the building materials. I have no doubt in my head. I don't really know the answer to this, but I have no doubt in my head that there'll be something that increases rep level in some way, right? Because, maybe the hostiles give you rep. I don't know, to be honest with you. I didn't get to play it at all. But that's really important for you guys to figure out, that there is not a worry about, like, day one, you've got to do it. Now, the free-to-play, the biggest question I've got for you is, this is a good thing. And let me explain to you why it's a good thing. Because they're focusing massively on trying to do fixes in the game. So this is a very broken down version of what they're releasing to ensure that they can focus on a lot of the game. So if exactly. Lord of Chaos says, the video says, if you have the ship, you get more Maverick tasks and more rep. Exactly. But don't worry, there is some sort of, the podcast, when we release it on Tuesday, at the moment maintenance gets hit, it'll go on all the podcast platforms. It's free. Is that we will explain how much that benefits you as well on day one, what to do on day one. So on day one, whatever special packs there are, that's what I would go for personally. That's the first thing. I would get it day one, because I'm like, wow. Sam Stitch just subscribed for tier 1. Thank you very much, Sammy Stitch. It's really kind of you.
I've got 2 things for you.
And what is?
Yes, Netniv.
One is, that was Ephemeral, by the way, the name. Ephemeral.
Ephemeral. Wow, thank you.
Ephemeral. It's an actual word.
Is it?
And then, yes. And you've got 1 minute left on your hype train.
1 minute left on the hype train. And what do we need? Ooh.
15 subs.
15 subs. It's on easy, by the way, so yeah, hopefully you'll do it. Sweet. New vid coming Tuesday. Yes, as you saw the intro to the video here, I have been working on a separate video, but I mean, you guys know what it is anyway. You can guess it'll be some sort of reveal for the Borg Sphere as well. And Shiz also shows me defeating Borg Suppressor completes new Borg tasks, awarding Maverick rep and epic new credits, and that. Thank you for that. So, and it's the Maverick. So you do get rep by killing the hostile. So that's a way. Wow, Simon Says with gifted 20. I didn't even see that. Simon Says did such a great job. Man, you're such a great supporter, dude. I'm gonna get you something. Such a great guy. Thank you so much for that one. Madcap, Marfrat, Whisper, Photo Shizzle, Silly Guy. Oh, Silly Guy. Oh, Silly Guy. You've got to speak. Well, that sounds fun. Fran JCM, something 546. It's me, Gorp. Okay, interesting. Looking for a heater. It is awesome. It is awesome. Thank you so much. And looking for a heater, which is Netniv, I think, alt. And Kebab My Baby. What? He likes Kebabi Baby. And then Burnout Cuspacks and OBX. It's OBS, by the way, but OBX is great. Well done, people, for that one. So that's the first thing. The other thing you need to worry about is might think...
I actually have a question.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, given what we're seeing being released, has anybody spoken to Jason Vienek and seen how many of the Borg Spheres he wants to actually get?
Oh, interesting.
Not just yet, but I'm sure Jason is going to buy at least 12.
Yeah, so because the circles have go into the cube to create the Rubik's Cube, right? So that he can spin it around.
Yep.
Which would be interesting. And that'd be great. Flex Rex, who is, by the way, in the gym with me. So there's no way to gain rep from hostiles without hitting the new ship, unlike the Augment faction. No. Flex Rex, let me explain to you why you won't be able to kill it. Papa Smurf with 100 cheer, thank you very much. You won't be able to kill the new hostiles with any new, faction ship. And also, it doesn't give you anything for killing them. You have to have the sphere to gain the advantage and everything that goes with it. Right, very simple. I feel like we're bringing back the old Borg loop that we used to have from about 5 years ago. Yeah, and at tier 1, I'm told that it's very, very good. Yeah, I do need a new bowling ball. We might even do a bowling ball type, things. Was unclear if the hostiles or the only task from the hostiles, which is rewarding renown. But either way, increased rep and credits. Exactly. You will get rep and credits massively from doing the task or the hostiles. Hey, Ice Wolf. LOD say it would be cool if they could incorporate Sphere into the cube. That would be wicked. That'd be interesting. Also, one of the refits that you get early on gives you the ability to jump, which is great at tier 4, which is nothing, I'm told, to get up there. Quasel, is it hard to get up to tier 4? Would you say it's... I mean, we don't want numbers, but was it difficult? You went, all right, that's pretty easy. Or you went, oh, dear God, I need quite a lot of stuff. But without telling us what the stuff is.
Based on the current trajectory, it might take a little bit. I mean, but that depends on, day one sourcing and how much they give us in the arc, because lately we've seen that in the beginning we got a bunch of stuff. And maybe there's something in the missions, who knows?
Yeah, true. And
Just
John
saying,
Drell
no,
says,
correct.
sounds more like the old Zindy loop. Yeah, maybe. You're absolutely right. Flossie, any idea if this 4 cube will scale up to G7? I can tell you 100% that is not happening. Well, 99.9 until someone makes a decision. There's a pack for that, Lost in, and I absolutely agree. We've got 1 minute, 30 seconds left as we keep going through this information, which is 20 subs, which is great. So not too far to go. Oh, there we go. Oh, Jess. Okay. Oh, how you doing, you two? All right. Bloody hell. This is a professional stream, Jesus.
I didn't even interrupt to say hello to her.
Professional stream, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Now, with knowing, once I finish this info, I would like to hear from a G7 player first what they would do, G6 player second whether they would buy, and then if we have any G5s that are available, Ghost Pepper or anyone like that, if you're around, come in there. FlexRex expecting donations for the new ship. Good evening, Chronox. Then it's probably going to be a chart for this. Probably going to best ship ever.
1 minute.
1 minute left on the hype train. 50 seconds left on the hype train. 50 seconds. We might get it. Yeah, Grim Scott, you might buy it. 50 seconds left. 20 subs left to keep us going. So we already got to 12. If we can, it's a new ship, we'll buy it. Exactly, Premier. You'll get it. I'm a G star player. I can't even read that. G star something. Can I get a confirmation the hostile give rep making it grindable, or is it just task being limited? It sounds to me like it's the task at the moment, Lord of Chaos, but we'll confirm it on the first day. Thank you very much, Ice Love, for gifting to Chronox a gifted cheer. New ship buy, also Sphere will buy. Yeah, exactly. Day 1 pack to unlock it, not going to push tiering it. Yeah, exactly. Have a look, have a play. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Thank you very much. 12. We got to hype train level 12, 11 to 12. So yeah, we'll give away a t-shirt. We'll get to a t-shirt. Maybe, you know what? I'd love to see Lost in wearing a legendary t-shirt, one of our legendary t-shirt, or a leg day or a lag day. So many thoughts regarding that. I'll buy it, always do. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Thank you very much, people. Now we can get to the serious business of it. Also opens up the door for those things. One of the key things in the video I want you to keep an eye on, he said, here is the upgrade material for the prototype Forbidden Tech. Did everyone see that? Let me explain to you why I'm pointing that out.
I saw it for sure.
What do you think, Sniper, that means?
It says to me that this is not going to use the standard Prototech upgrade materials that we've been using up to this point.
I love saying these words, and my next words are my favorite words. I can neither confirm or deny what you're saying there,
No.
Sniper.
That's all I need to know.
Just so you need to know. I'm like a guinea pig for my alliance, so it's likely I'll get the ship. I would get it if you can get it, and like without forcing yourself to do anything. I would get it. But Mark Taco says he's going to wait 100 days. But now you know that information, Sniper. What do you think? But what's happening now? Now I've given you the little nitty gritties.
Yeah, so I mean, in regards to the Borg Sphere itself, I mean, it's definitely a buy from me, right? I mean, goes right out saying that I'm a big fan of the Borg to start with, right? So I'd probably be buying that regardless, just because of the nature of what it is. In fact, you might have seen on private server before, I've advocated for a Borg fleet, right? Let me get all 8 Borg ships, right? So we'll see how many I end up getting. I got 3 cubes already, so I need 5 more to round out the set, right?
Yeah. Oh dear God. Well, Jason V-Neck does as well. Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but the one thing, Nigel, that did make me nervous was the fact that it has like so many prototechs and CTs and all these things, and the question that'll really come up is like how many of those are optional versus required, and how expensive are they going to be to upgrade
True.
outside the cost of upgrading the cube? I'm sorry, the sphere itself.
Yeah, so Riskbreaker says, I didn't watch the video yet, but and also relates to this. But how do we get a third FT type upgrade wise before we get that third tech or gear? Is it what Mr. Tiger called it? Well, no, it's not Mr. Tiger. So do you require it? I mean, the ship has got the ability to kill the hostile. Do you see where I'm going with this? This is where my NDA is a little bit on the edge. So the ship can already kill the hostile. So, and the ship can kill the super hostile as well.
All right. Well, yes. So without breaking any NDA, because I could just say based on what I see in the article and the video and my guess, if you will, having no private information, right? It seems like it's kind of similar to how the walk arc was, right? In a certain sense that there was two hostiles. There was the one that you could kill with pretty much any ship, although there were a little struggle before you get the Reliant, and then there was the hostile that had a high chance of killing you. You could potentially kill it, but it was probably going to kill you, right? Or be almost certain death. So this seems like kind of the same kind of setup where there's one hostile type that requires a sphere anyway,
Yeah.
and there's one hostile type that requires the sphere plus the chaos tech. Otherwise, you have a very high chance of not being able to kill that, and I'm presuming that will give you more of whatever, right? That it is faster, better, who knows what, right? We'll have to see what the arc looks like, but it seems like you have a small chance, 20% or so, of surviving the super hostile with nothing. So if you want to realistically, sustainably kill that hostile, you probably will need the tech, I presume.
Well,
just based on the article.
Can read
Just
what the
based on the
tech does.
article. Yeah. I see it. It's the hypodermic stabilizer all over again, right? It's the you will go home and with no possibility of defending yourself unless you have the thing that exactly counters it, right? I mean, that's basically it's another one of those.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly that.
25% chance. Use Vemet, try it again. I mean, we all know how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
we've been there before.
Yeah, exactly that. And Tiberius says it's like the NX-01 loop, which is fine, which means you can't really kill the hostiles with a normal ship, but you need the special ship to kill the special things, including the very super special ships as well, which have an ability to take you out. Basically, it seems like it's that, and you need to be wary of that. Is it worth killing those special hostiles? Sure. Podcast will tell you more why you might not want to do that. Because there's a different tactic to do it. But we don't want to release the information so that they stop it. We'd rather they sort of do what they need to do and release what they need to release before they incursion it again. You know what I mean? You see what I did there?
Man, shots fired.
Shots fired.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, after yesterday's debacle that I had to deal with, the big question is, the big question is that it's a 55 plus mechanic, clearly. So, Ghost Pepper, what level are you? What ops level are you? I can see you on Discord. And then Mark Taco says it's G5 scrapping coming in April. You're level 47. So for you, Ghost Pepper, the main thing is to continue with your loop, and you won't. This is something very good for you. Whatever you do in your dailies and your hostiles you kill, you're actually benefiting your alliance massively in the Maverick faction, as well as anything if anyone's got anything to do with the new Borg Sphere as well. So you're helping people by doing so. And then if you can get your alliance to get up there and you can get some of that loot, I'd save it, because you are in a great position ahead of everyone else, because by the time you get to the level of where you might potentially want to get the sphere, you'll be smashing it, and you'll have so much stuff. So I can work up on things that are there. Of course, keep getting told to do the same thing and I can work up things. Well, on the podcast, Ghost Pepper, at the very end, we tell you what the mid-ops is. So we try to condense it all together into one. The podcast is very short, as you can imagine. There's not quite a lot coming. And we put the mid-ops at the very end. So Jules and I go over it and tell you exactly what ships to chase at what level and why you should chase it. So that's a great thing for the sevens. Okay, you can tell I'm thrilled. Yeah, very thrilled. There's an exclamation... No, there's no exclamation point. That's a swear word. Okay, great. Oh, wait. Maybe it's not. That's amazing. Exclamation point podcast. Oh, yeah, I probably need to do that, but that'll be something I can do with the podcast. It's available all podcast platforms, STFC Briefings, any platform you listen to podcasts. Amazing that we're holding, on average 155,000 unique listeners, which is just insane. It's been holding that for 6 months now, which is incredible. So it's so we can do that. Coming in late, sorry if I missed it. Megan said it's a G5 epic, so I cannot get it until I'm up 16. No, ups 55 and above. Megan, ups 55 and above. Flossie, will it work? Yes, I'm confident it'll work, and I'll tell you why I'm confident. It's very basic. Something, kill a hostile. As long as the hostile's there, everything works. Boom, done. Right? Straightforward mechanic. Yep. If that doesn't work, then a lot of people need to look themselves in the eye, really, honestly. Like, just it'd be ridiculous. As for the Maverick ending up the grind, 122k of the 175k, Sulaban kills myself. Yeah, exactly. Also, we want more loot. Do you know why we want more loot? Because Cochrane's going to be upgraded. You need, 25k, 50k, 75k, and 150k, just to upgrade them through those tiers. So that is valuable. So whatever gives me more credit, I'm in. So as you read through the blog, it clearly tells you you're going to get more bits and bobs. More is more. And then by the end, like we have with Pioneer Crest, where we had a problem at the beginning, 2-3 months in, you'll be like, wow, I've got loads of these credits. Sniper will be like, I can swap them for Sigma Trit because whatever. That'll be just loads of things. Now for a G6 player, we've heard from the under, we've heard from the mid-ops, so 20 to the 50s. Thank you very much, Ghost Pepper. That's good to know where you are. And I think if someone said to you, would you speed up to 55? I'd say, no. Well, I mean, are you going to gain anything? I don't know. Take your time. Do it the right way. No, exactly. Oh, Jason V, whatever his name is. Jason V Sphere is here. Jason V Sphere is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. The man with the 8 spheres, because he needs 8, because he doesn't have any balls himself. He needs to buy 8 more. So at least he'll be buying 2 because he has none. Oh, shots fired. So there'll be at least 2 balls that Jason will be getting. So sphere away, and he might be able to roll himself towards that target and finally be assimilated in a world that he really believes in. You see what I did there? How many puns was that? No need to speed to 55.
Too many
headaches. Yeah, exactly. Too many puns. I'm trying to learn. How will he walk with that many balls?
Yes. At least you didn't say you're trying to kick him in the sphere.
Well, that will be a T-shirt available on Tuesday, by the way. How did you guess that was the title of it?
Well, I know.
Damn it. That's the way. MJ Hat, so you have heard everything. If you're a 67? Yeah?
Correct.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think of what's coming?
Honestly, I'm stoked, man. Anything Borg, just really anything Borg, I'm about it. Here's my issue. Okay.
Yeah.
I know that we've talked about free to play. I know we've talked about all this. I personally, I can't just go out and buy ships. I've never bought a ship in the game ever. So even like crowdfunded, I've never done that. So I'm curious as to what the free to play sourcing is actually going to look like.
That's true. That's the most important thing to figure out. I mean, look, I told you can pull 1 or 2 BPs a day, right? So 100 days. But the big question is, do you have the ability to purchase the 2 BPs a day? That will all depend on what price they put on 1 BP and 2 BPs, right?
Well, I think it's probably safe to assume. Now, again, I'm not NDA'd or anything.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to assume that this is going to take Maverick credits too. So, yeah, just history.
Confirm, not deny.
Correct. History repeats itself, though, I would imagine. So, in my eyes, getting that building up, getting it to a place to where I can do maybe 2 of the tasks.
Yeah.
That would help speed my progression, because as I'm pulling the building parts, the research materials, the whatever else I'm pulling that day, it's very important to me that I pull BPs every single day. That way, free to play, I unlock that in 100 days.
Yeah.
Or
true.
sooner, depending on promo codes and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly that. And Doomslayer, we're legit getting a Borg Sphere as a ship. Yes, you are. Lord of Chaos says, I hope if you buy a ship, you can still get a free-to-play second one. You know what? I'm going to put that on my list to ask early, Lord of Chaos. And if I get an answer, I'll post it. Killer Angel says, will you get 50% of the ship in the Battle Pass? I have one response to that.
That's a no.
I can't believe he asked that question.
Right.
Yeah.
All I can say is the last time they put a Borg thing in the Battle Pass, I was stuck for 9 months without being able to get one. So please don't.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Sorry, Killer Angels. The only way I can say buying a ship, then taking free to play actually makes it less likely to spend a lot of times. True, I agree. I do not know the answer to that, whether you can get to, but I can definitely ask the question, Lord of Chaos, and I probably can get it soon. Oh, E11E, E11E, E11E. Everyone tries to copy me saying your name, by the way, and they fail. I heard
I try.
Ultravetica go E11E, E11E. You are doing well in marbles, which was fantastic.
I think maybe I got closer than anybody else. So, E11E, E11E, appreciate you.
Nigel's definitely the OG, especially with Magtaco. You know what I mean? Like things like that. And Panda Pirate. E11E, E11E, E11E. So yes, the sphere you're getting, the hostile you need for the loop. It's about 100 days on if you pull 2 a day. Whether you can pull a day is a different thing. You have to make a decision. Hey, Murphy, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, whether you can pull 2 a day to get the ship is a decision you've got to make. It might. I would have thought it would require some sort of sacrifice. So those are one of the things. But also, so they say Janeway, that's a good point. We can segue to this because Brian Racer says this. So they say Janeway, E. Picard, and Christopher Pike won't work on the new Hostile. Is the OG Pike or SNW Pike? They put SNW Pike, and they told us something different. So we'll see what happens on day one. I'm assuming whatever they put in the picture is the most correct one, Sniper. What do you think?
That's what I presume, because they had a picture of Strange New World, but the name is Christopher Pike, which would match the old school Pike. But I imagine they're looking all the current, most commonly used, captains that would help punch up, Strange New World with what he does with, with taking more damage to shield, as well as Janeway, right? And so I presume that would be Strange New World Pike, not Old School Pike, because if they were going to do Old School Pike, there's another particular officer I presume they would have also done as well.
It's definitely SNW Pike.
Now remain nameless in case they decide to do it.
What do you think, Matako?
It's definitely SNW Pike that's not being used.
Yeah, okay. No, I appreciate that. That's good. That's good to see. So does the new loop source G7 materials in some fashion? Well, in the blog, it says you get more upgraded ship parts, and the video shows you a folder with better ship parts. We don't know, and I'm not sure the CCs know too much about it. If they do, then please do speak up about whether the numbers look good and whether those things are great or not, and so on and so forth. So that'll be something to sort of have a look through. Yeah. Yes, Quasi?
Most of it looks solid.
Yeah.
I mean, they change values after playtest because they get feedback from us. Costs for the blueprints most likely have been lowered by what I have heard, because we said, okay, maybe look at it. That might be a little bit tough. So I can say currently most of it looks reasonable. Like your standard default chip, most of them haven't been quick. Most of them take time. But else, it's nothing outrageous so far. So I'm looking forward to most of it. Sure, it could always be better. I mean, who are we kidding?
Yes,
But
we always want things to be better. That's the most important. But we do.
We do.
Yeah, and that's
And White
yeah.
Kaiser in Twitch chat just said that he really looks forward to the time of the nerf Kaiser, apparently. So we need to get that request through for him.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was yeah. That sounds like a great request for doing those things, and that's really important to sort of figure out. I like what you can get from that store and everything that sort of comes in the store. I like that there's 2 refits for free. The second refit is one where I think a lot of people are just going to have to figure out whether they're going to use it or not, because it's very interesting and weird. But sure, there must be a reason, and maybe in 6 months' time we might go, oh, that makes sense now. Yeah, exactly. And the beauty is Flossie brings up a very good point. The reason it's very, let's say, I'm not saying limited in the release, but it's because it sounds like it's being condensed down because they can focus on the stability of the game and stability of getting things going and stability of making more of this game working, because I think that's more important than anything right now. I think yes, give us a little bit of something each month, which is new. Don't make it ridiculous. Don't put a new thing. Don't try a new thing. Just keep it steady and straightforward and get this game working to the level we expect it to work. Again. So, yeah, Lord of Chaos says second is like a GS31 type and it can PvP a little. Well, stability Velvet Thunder is what I'm looking for, because after yesterday's chaos, that is the minimal that I think we should request. But also don't forget that the new Officer Malin was released as well. Great ability, very interesting. We talked about it last week. Very good officer to have, that with Cochrane and FCM data. Yeah, and
One other question. Everybody's seen the Borg cube, obviously, in the video. What did they think of the color? Sorry, sphere. Yes, you're right. But what did they think of the color?
Oh, it's lovely. I mean, I don't judge people by color, Niv. Why is there an issue here? What's going on?
I think if I can punch in here, I think that the ship looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks great. I think the done well. Yes, Sniper.
I do think so as well, although it looks like they kind of might do something similar like they did with the refits previously, with it changing the color like they tried to do with the cube, which I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of. I mean, as long as they don't need to be like actively on there, I think that's fine. But like if the base color is like that bluish shield and then they change it to purple because you need the refit on, like, not a big fan of that.
Yeah, well, Spark says
I like the initial color.
Yeah, well, Spark says because who doesn't love hot pink? And why do you call it hot pink? They're not even calling it pink; they're calling it hot pink, which is quite interesting.
But you don't need any refit to be on a ship for its abilities to be active. They are just there.
That's what I say. That's what I did with the cube too. I like got the refit, but I did not put it on.
Yeah, exactly. But also, did you guys realize what the instant warp? It says it in the blog. What currency uses? Have you read that?
I didn't look at that. No.
Which is fantastic. It uses the transwarp manifolds, which is the one that the Borg cube uses. So we're not mycelium heavy.
You get used to that again. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great.
But then again,
yeah,
that means you then got to split your thing between the Borg cube and the Borg sphere. Then, so you may want it to have its own thing. But the other thing is, what we don't know right now is, could we get, with all these jump drives that we've got?
Yes,
we need something else that goes beyond the Discovery to get to the higher warp ranges, which, admittedly, they're not in my range yet, but when you get to the G7 higher ranges, you need something that will pull your ships forward, don't you? So will this be a ship that gets that ability or comes with that ability? That's the,
who knows? Who knows? I hope they add more to this ship, like, bring up more stuff with it.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that, if everything's going well in the game and the stability is improving, maybe they'll bring more stuff in the, mid-month patch or whatever. So there's always an option. Sandra really wants a light gray color refit, which has got a nice color. Upping the cap of those manifolds, probably not. Free swag, great question. I've put it into my list of questions to ask. So thank you, Free swag. I will ask that question and see if we can up that cap a little bit, which would be interesting. They'll just add a Vengeance Prime jump drive. Yes, Netniv.
I've just seen why you were saying about the light grey colour, and
yeah,
that could be interesting.
Exactly. It could make it interesting.
Is that a planet or a moon?
Yeah, exactly. Planet, a moon, or is it a ship, which would be exciting. Which will be. Tavi Moses says, "Have we seen how big the ship looks in space? Was it the Excelsior that was so tiny in space?" I believe that the CCs, official CCs, have seen the ship compared to the Borg cube. And what do you guys think? Does it look in proportion? That's the word I'm using.
Yes.
Great.
In proportion.
That's good. That's the moon. I have a bad feeling about this. No, I think it's good. It's small. See in the video, cube is edgier. Yeah, Jules Verne has entered the Twitch chat. Sorry, Jules. I always get excited when I see your name, and I've got it in green, oddly, for some strange reason, because you're mean, lean, green machine, and you're better than Quasel, the green sheet. But Quasel is better in the other sheet.
No one is better.
Yeah, but then
we are different kind of breed.
Different kind of beast. Yeah. Hiya, Jules. Hiya. How you doing? You're right, love. How you doing? Yeah, me mate Jules is in the house. You know what I mean? Wait, that's Loop. Wait.
Oh, V-Nex giving him all the praise for this as well,
Thanks for making this happen for me again. Give what? Cube is edgier.
The sphere.
Oh, for God's sake. It's just like V-neck discount code V-enemy. If people do actually want to get a discount code, I can't believe I've left it up still. V-enemy still works in the store. If people want to use and get a bit of discount from it. Has cookies for you. Yeah, Nigel has cookies for you. Well, no, because we can't ship cookies to where Jules is in that time. McShiz says, but it also means more fuel for those jumps depending on which either one uses. I agree with you, McShiz. And also, it doesn't put pressure on the mycelium, which I think is just there's too many things. Biscuits, Spark says, biscuits. That's what.
And imagine what if there is additional junctures in the store. Who knows? I mean, if there is maybe other stuff coming, who knows? Maybe they add summoning and choose, or maybe I don't know. There's so many options. I would wait and see, and I hope, like Netnif said, I'd really would enjoy if that you would like get a summoning ability. Though I don't know.
What I would really like,
but I would
and this is something a little out there.
Yeah.
Let you decide your own color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, now that'd be something.
Well, hey, Sniper, we can't even get a thing to hit another thing without any delays. You want to throw a color in there? I was like, what the hell are you asking for? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, we don't want to give him anything new to code, right?
No more coding. No, we don't like that idea. Jules just says he wants to have a Yorkshire tea and a cookie. Really simple, because he can have a bit of the Britishness while he has the horrendousness of the cookie. If the cube is not edgier, then Scopely needs to reinvest shapes in the kindergarten. The video said there will be a jump juice chest. Oh, nice. If it did, amazing. If it didn't, well, who knows? But I'm just reading through the blog just to make sure that we can cover it all. Hostile is great. We know it's by ship level, but the 2 moments in the video that showcase that, which is great. And the chaos tech, I've read them, Sniper. I don't think you need them because the ability of the ship does it anyway, but I guess it helps. It helps the super duper ship, whatever the other one's called, the obliterator.
I think the chaos tech seems to be purely for the super ship.
Yeah, because what it does is it removes the has an 80% chance to instantly annihilate your Borg Sphere. Jesus Christ, 80%. Just
exactly.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You only have 20% chance to survive. So, I mean, you could just hit it, 5 times and hope you survive. Although, I don't think it's like a real 80% in that sense that you can probably hit it a bunch more than 5 times and still not survive. But it depends what you get different from the super ship versus the regular ship, if it's even worth trying, right? Like if you get like 2 times the resources, then oh well, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Cruzito comes up with a doozy of a question. So Nigel, what things today are everyone taking out their pitchforks and torches for today? No pitchforks and torches, buddy. I think we're in quite a good place. Complaints in Free Swag says complaints on RNG in 3, 2, 1. I've tried this shit 100 times and I've died 99. Well, knowing my RNG, you saw when Quasel and I were half and half on a wheel. I lost 9 out of 10.
Yeah. But that's going to be it, isn't it? You're going to have to decide when you're, whether you get the ship to use do the hostiles. B, whether you're going to use the extra chaos tech to get the extra hostiles, based off what they're showing us. So it's a lot like some of the other loops that we've seen before, where they have this RNG factor in it, and then you've got to work out whether going for those or paying for those is going to help you grind and speed it up for you, or whether you just got to decide that you're not going to hit those for a while, like the obliterators for a while, and you're just going to concentrate on the smaller hostiles. There's going to be all sorts of things, and how that actually plays out, we'll find out on Monday. Monday night, Tuesday.
Don't
Even
say
Wednesday
Monday.
for
Don't get
APAC.
ahead of
Yeah.
yourself.
That's a
Time
leak
zones,
by
time
Niv.
zones.
Now everything's happening on the Monday. No, that's a joke, by the way. That's an absolute joke. Everything's happening on Monday.
It's because I start Arcwall on Monday with Mini, so I always think Monday for Arcwall, and it's not. It's Tuesday. It gets a bit warped in my head. So. But yeah. And then APAC, they're 12 hours ahead of us, so by the time actually Arcwall lands, their Tuesday's almost over, and they're going into Wednesday anyway. So
Yeah, true. Well, look, we'll see what happens on Tuesday. That's as far as we know. I think it's a good thing that we've got that. Cruzito, we've been telling people that you need to ship to kill the hostiles, as per the video. The video shows you 2 times where it seems like the tasks that come with the ship are based on ship tier level, maybe wrong, maybe right, who knows, rather than ops level, which is great. And also the other thing that we have realized is you're going to be able to pull 1 or 2 chests a day, hopefully 100-day grind. But also it probably is something you've got to make a decision about, whether you're going to go, right, okay, I'm going to put my credits into this or not, or whatever, or I'm going to continue my grind in that. And when we spoke to Ghost Pepper, who's our representative for the 20 to 50, she says that it feels like she's going through the ships, but not going to speed through to 55, but everyone can do stuff to benefit the whole alliance, and the whole alliance will, as you can see in the video, there's an alliance task that says Borg Sphere. So there is something where you can gain that credit before you even get anywhere near it, which is absolutely a very good thing to sort of be wary of. So that's very, very good. So I can see a lot of good. Yes, the free-to-play, don't get it on day one. Except being able to pull it from day one. So, you're 100 days away. Let us go through the headaches while you guys can see what's happening. And Cruzito's absolutely correct. Tiberius brought this up as well. This seems to be like a version of the NX-01 loop. Also, why would you expect for the new ship to do anything more than outside of the loop? Don't know, Cruzito. Not part of playtests. However, the official CCs haven't, I don't think, managed to attempt it outside. They said that it was just very good. Do you guys try it outside with anything?
I can neither confirm or deny that. But I will say that most speciality ships don't really do a lot. We have seen a few that do, like the Relativity and the GS-31's been quite good, hasn't it? For people. But mostly the speciality ships don't really do much outside their own loops. So I would never expect a new ship to do that until we suddenly go surprised and go, hey, yeah, it does.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Relativity, though. The Relativity, which is McShiz's favorite thing. McShiz,
I used it.
I'm just going to say this to you. Take the hint and walk away. Trust me, take the hint and walk away. I'm trying to help. Vuel, it has a PvP focused skin. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't understand. So the PvP focused skin makes it look like it's really useful outside of its loop. Do you see what I mean? Like, as in, like, to be able to... It says, applies the assimilate state to enemy players at the start of combat for 2 rounds. Not cumulative, it doesn't seem. For 2 rounds. Interesting.
Yeah, so the question is, how does it apply that state? Like, is it when you're attacking somebody with the sphere? Because that would be interesting. But maybe it has, like, a beam, like the cube.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
No, I don't know that. I'm just, I'm just
coming from the wording
yeah.
I think I'll say is based on what you think of, the other ships. Like the sphere, it would make sense since the Borgs do in the game. In the actual Star Trek universe, go around beaming people. So why wouldn't the sphere have another one?
And also,
but we'll only find that out, I guess, when we see
also,
it.
you wouldn't have a refit that applies a state against players unless you're confident people are going to use it against players. Or maybe they're not
You would
confident.
think, you would think so.
Yeah, because why the refit? And it's free as well. Like you have no choice but to get it at tier 5.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I asked the questions.
Yes.
But I haven't yet seen an answer to it.
Oh, right.
So-
Yeah. I was hoping you could
Because
come with an
I
exclusive.
was like that in the playtest.
Yeah.
Assimilate, yeah, that's nice, but only against players. Because it's not even like it would put a state on the opponent like we have it with lower tech options or stuff. It's at least the wording is state to enemy players. So maybe we have like the Vidar PvP events for those. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
Like,
It's
I mean, could you imagine going to the system and watching a load of spheres fighting against each other? It'd
Ooh,
be quite
maybe they'll have an
interesting to
event.
watch.
Maybe they'll have an event for that.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
Actually, that skin does look not too bad as far as
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how it looks in game, but the that refit itself, the simulated one, looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And CJ Becker says, have we heard anything about scrap times or rates of investment for G5 scrapping yet? No, we know nothing. As per the in-game news, it says April is what they're aiming for. I think that's the word they used. But
don't forget, their upper limit is still July. I think it is, isn't it? They said they were going.
Yeah, exactly. So by July, it should be in the game. I say should in a very breathy
All being
way.
well.
Yes.
All being well.
Exactly, because after the weekend of hell, I kind of let's see where it goes with that one. But yeah, I don't know about the PvP ability, no idea. But also, what crew would you use? You have assimilate. Also, what percentage of assimilate? It doesn't even say, does it? Or does it just apply?
just-
Just 100%.
It just applies
I think it just applies that state. Yeah, applies the simulation.
Yeah, assimilate
which
is a
which is
state,
also
so-
interesting because like that's a state that almost nobody uses anymore realistically
Yeah.
in PvP.
And also, you'd use the mirror universe data, and if you don't use him, who the hell would you replace him with?
Well, you've got his name's escaping me. Below decks, who applies simulate?
Days off.
Dizak.
Yeah. So he's normally
But
the one.
hey, I mean, at least
simulate.
assimilate reduces officer stats. I mean, come on, that's
Officer
but is
stats of the player ship. Oh yeah, great. Yeah, that's
Well, I was going to say, isn't that just applying the state? Is that applying the state, or is that his below deck ability also gives that as well as assimilate? I thought assimilate itself was the one that reduced the stats.
no. Just remember.
the fict itself does the reduction.
Yeah, exactly. The simulator itself, which is Quazel's correct, apply. So we just need to figure out why, and also
It feels there's a puzzle missing. There's a piece of the puzzle is missing.
Yes, but this is part
you ask
2
me.
of the puzzle, Quazel. You know what it reminds me of? Remember we had Talios or Vidar PvP events? This is what it makes me think of, going, now we're going to have Borg Sphere PvP events in one system. That's what it leads me
Borg
to.
event 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's a Borg. It's a combination of the NX01 loop with the Borg sort of loop itself and events put together. So
Well, the event's more like the Talios, isn't it? Where you got the Talios that used to go into PvP systems for G5.
Yeah, it reminds me of that.
So this is what I'm saying. I could just see it, having lots of spheres flying around the system, and it would be quite interesting. It would almost be like a game of marbles.
Oh God, yeah, exactly like in Robert. Sugar Relentless says Sphere does open up some options. Esri and ROM and only need a state, for example, which only need a state. Yeah, I agree. Do you know what would be interesting though? Here's an interesting question: if it applies a state instantly, like at the beginning. Wait for my mind to work. Are you ready for this, Sniper? I'm about to throw a wobbler. If it applies a state at the beginning, have we found a counter for Tuvok? Lowered infiltrator
Tuvok and Egypt.
Yes. If
that could be very. It could functionally make it immune to being attacked first by Tuvok and Egypt.
Yes. Do you see where I'm going with this? I was like, interesting. That would be interesting because that suddenly makes that, unless they proc before it. No, but Riskbreaker, that's the question I've got. When does it apply the state? If it automatically always applies a state at the beginning, so before even the battle begins, you've applied a state, a state. It doesn't say you have to attack first, does it? Applies the state to the enemy
Nope.
players at the start of combat for 2 rounds. Start. Not applies if you attack. So start of combat, which would be interesting. Crisito does have a question about PvP and whether we at our levels are overlooking a lot of PvP stuff that occurs more at the lower levels, which seems to be their target audience nowadays. Yes, Crisito, we did ask people like Ghost Pepper, if we do have people like MJ Hat and Netniv, would this make you go and do arenas now? If you had something like this.
Well, I'll be honest, I'm the wrong person to ask because I keep trying to do arenas because I want to do things in the arenas, and Friday nights are just way too busy for me, and the short window that there is for it, I just never get to do them.
Exactly.
I think I've done it once in 4 weeks. So,
But
if I could do it, would it now make me do it as well? It doesn't really entice me anymore because I'd want to do them anyway. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask.
Yeah, MJ Hat.
No, and I kind of have to agree with Netniv. My schedule right now on Fridays is kind of loaded. I've got several things that go on Friday, 2 streams of my own. So that kind of while I could go and I could do an arena stream, it doesn't really entice me anymore.
Yes, exactly. And also Ghost Pepper for the mid-ops says, I already do arenas, but yes, the same. I fail arenas more than win. On top of the schedule sucks, but I still try, which is great. Ghost Pepper, it might mean if the Sphere does well and helps, it might be a mid-ops thing where they go for. Crazy, an arena is one of the greatest things you have never played in your life. It's fantastic. It's absolutely superb. It works like a charm. Absolutely adore it. It's exactly like killing Klingon armadas in Incursions. Oh, wait. No one's done that. Crisito, you jumped on stage. Shots fired. Crisito's jumped on the stage. Mr. PvP himself.
I think Dr. Jessica did.
Well, I don't know that I would say Mr. PvP myself. And the only reason I'm asking that, right, is, a lot of days or a lot of times now, it's everything is geared, or it seems as though it's geared towards that mid-ops, plus or minus a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And so I'd like to see, from those players that are in that area, would something like these refits or this ship, make the game more interesting, right? For us, I think, unfortunately, where we're at, little things like this, like, assimilated or, whatever it is, they don't really factor in so much, right? Because we're typically going, strike team crews or these other things and just raw power ships, where I think for the lowers and the mid, this might actually be something. And maybe that's something we as the upper players need to kind of start discussing, or if we're providing feedback, provide it to Scopely and them of going, great, it's great you're creating this stuff for those players because that's where the majority of the player base is.
Yeah, agreed.
But at the same time, we want to get a little bit involved, right? And again, like Sniper has mentioned, right? Does Assimilate really affect anything at our level? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I bet it does in the mid, the 50s and 60s, right? It probably closes some areas that we don't think about.
Yeah, exactly. And McShiz also brings a point up that CTs and FTs are the big things deciding PvPs now after general account development. And Ghost Pepper, who is a mid-ops, she's an ops 47, Crisito, has looked at this, not going to push to 55 to get it, but wants to love arenas, like wants to enjoy it, actually is trying to actively find a way to sort of enjoy it. And one of the things that Sandra is also showing as well on the video, that some of the refits are for exchange for your choice of ships in the faction, Maverick faction, get more epic Maverick credits extended for completing the Borg Sphere, which is the Borg part choice token. Interesting. That's very good. Which is great. So the biogel, for example, McShiz is quite important. I worry this month will be a massive bust. Too many people don't buy new ship and won't be able to participate. Well, Master Viper, is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing that people will take their time to get into it so they can focus on getting the game stability up? That's what I'm thinking. I think I'd rather, it is holy shit, but I'd rather they take their time and actually focus on fixing the game and giving the upper echelons a little bit of something to play with, but allow you as a lower watching it from afar going, you know what, I might chase this ship or I might get it. So
Well, Nigel,
yeah,
I think there's something to that point or that question and kind of the way you responded, right?
yeah,
Where typically, and this has been the model, or at least I see it as the model, that
yeah,
they're going to put out new stuff. The spenders are going to spend and probably get it anyway, so that we can go out and play and have all the new shiny tools.
yeah,
But I think to some extent, and maybe this is kind of the sentiment that's going out there, is that those players that are doing that are kind of, I guess, tiring, if you will, from that, right? Like, hey, there's a new thing out there, and really, I'm not getting this new ship for whatever it's doing. I'm getting it because I want the byproducts of it, right? I'm going to get it because I'm going to compete in this event that gives me some other thing, but not necessarily for the feature itself, right? It's
yeah,
just a catalyst. Like, oh, okay, I got to go get that so I can, get more vengeance parts or win a leaderboard or whatever it is. But
yeah.
then they're not necessarily going to use the ship for the stuff it's doing, and that's been a pattern for a very long time. And
True.
so, yes, the non-spenders are probably, or the light spenders are probably going to, see it, let us experiment with it, and then make the determination whether they want it or not. And maybe that's Scopely's plan.
Yeah,
But at the same time, I do think that, at least from what I'm seeing from the spending side of the house, a
yeah,
lot of players are getting kind of tired of, hey, we don't want to be the guinea pigs.
yeah.
We
True.
want to have things that are going to be fun and exciting for us to participate in as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing that Sandra pointed out in the video, which is quite interesting, that the refits are G6 plus, 61 plus. So it sounds like tier 4 is ops locked then, which is interesting, because the refit's only for 61 plus at tier 4, unless
It looks like if you look in the store that they posted in the video,
yeah,
they show like the little component, which usually is like the warp drive or something, has a special component that you need to get in order to tier it up to the next tier, which is how they functionally ops lock it.
yeah,
So it looks like tier 4 is 61, tier 7 is 66, and tier 10 is 71 or G7, right?
okay,
So since the refit is tier 5, or both the refits, one of the refits is tier 4, one of the refits is tier 5, it does
yeah.
look like that's G6 plus content.
It does, and also Mr. Viper P said most. If they're selling it as an improvement for Maverick faction, no alliance can finish that task because 90% don't have the ship. No, you don't need the ship. As long as that task appears, as you saw in the video, you can hit anything as an alliance mate to contribute to it. So let's leave that. Most of the free-to-play out here are tired of not playing in months things are released. They should give the ship and get the revenue from tiering the packs. Sure, that's a good piece of advice, but if you accelerate yourself, it should be a reason, but I don't know. It's a good question because they gave the Talios, and that was quite successful through a mission, if I remember, and that was a good thing to sort of do. Applewell says he's responding to Chronox, where it says, I'm pretty sure this is a contender to break records, and I'm sure, and I'll be measuring this, which is great. Applewell says, I'm sure it will be because of nostalgia and the fact that whenever you think of sci-fi, you don't think Star Wars, you think of the Borg. True. Loads of questions here. Panda Pirate says, HQ should stick to introducing iconic Star Trek ships, no more made-up ships. Loops should be useful and utilitarian. Completely complex loops fatigues long-term players and scares away everyone else. Well, the loop is very simple. You go, you kill a hostile, and you come back, right? Very, very easy. Very straightforward. But
Looks like it, yeah.
But Ghost Pepper, who's an Ops 47, says, but it puts us free-to-play light spenders even more disadvantaged when not... but not only not paying, but also level locks take us longer. Sure, but I think they don't want people to have a bigger ship. However, Sneaky Coyote says he's an Ops 53 and absolutely gets smashed by massive whales with 4 billion relativity in arenas. I know your tactic has got to change. You've got to find someone who's the bullet, and you've got to be the little mouse that goes around and tries to get the armadas and the point. You're the point getter while you've got the shield to try and protect you. So that's the tactic in arenas, which works really well. Like either people use me as the bullet hitter, and then loads of lower players going in getting the points, which I think is a good thing. compared to the way that others played. So that's your little hint there, Sneaky Coyote. And at a 53, you're 2 levels away from getting to this new content. The big question I ask you is, as we say happy birthday to Brian Racer, the big question I ask you is, would you push the 2 levels? Now you know, you've seen what the content is, you do that. You're now looking at it going, ooh, do I, don't I? But be careful, you don't want to go up there and be stuck. That's the key, because the V'ger Orions are a problem. We just had like one of our favorite players finally managed to beat one today, which is an absolutely brilliant achievement. And he's sort of working, and he realized that he is working his way up into that. Which is important to sort of figure out. Yes, folks need to watch out for getting the pain points. So yeah, Sneaky Coyote, it'd be interesting to know. Yeah, and that will be important. Yes, Brian Racer just left us now. Flossie, I will send him the happy birthday wishes, because he's going to a service now, and then he'll be back hopefully in a little bit. But that. So this is interesting, because Grisito, what we're doing here is we're jumping to the mid-ops, which we have Ghost Pepper. We're jumping to the 50s, we have Sneaky Coyote. We're going to the 60s in MJ Hat and Netniv, both playing it slightly differently. Differently. Netniv's more of an efficiency guy. MJ Hat is more of a, I like my ships and go get it. So the advice is very open and gives you very good variations of what people think. What do you think now, Grisito, of what you've heard?
Well, I think that's right. I think, again, you've heard from the mid to, we'll call it, high-ish ops.
Yes.
Right. And I think that's great. Right. I think that, again, is their target. Right. That's where the majority of player base is. And again, whether they're light spenders, low spenders, whatever it is, that's where the majority of the games is. They're going to give them the content to entice them, if you will, to then spend and to progress and to get higher ups.
Yes.
As well as bringing everybody and trying to compress it. And so I think the question's going to be, particularly if you look at the higher ops players,
yeah,
they seem to be, and I don't know, rightly so or not, but they are very vocal. They tend to be the ones that are, putting in a lot of money into it, and it's going, cool. Well, what does that do for it? Right. I mean, for me personally, I'm just going to play the game as is. And if I find some value in it, I'm going to play it and do it.
Yeah.
But I think there's a bit of a struggle where you've got, the majority of player base. They've got to keep them entertained, if you will.
Yes.
And then you've got the upper level ones that are sitting here going, hey, look, we're dumping a bunch of money in here. What is there to do? And I think that's a bit of a quandary for them to try to figure out what they're going to do with that.
Yeah, absolutely agree. But it shows that it's interesting to listen to the different levels. It's giving me like, okay, cool. Well, they want to enjoy those PvP things, but they can't get there. Like Sneaky Coyote's going, do you know what? I'm getting fed up getting hit by bigger things. Ghost Pepper says, speeding up for the spade of speeding has never benefited anyone, no matter the ops level. Exactly. And that's why she says, exactly, I'm not embarrassed by how slow the game, my game has been, which is great, Ghost Pepper. You should stick to it. We love having you here to make those advices for us. And I think you're going to be happy with the mid-ops. The mid-ops has got a fantastic set of ships. Probably the most important ones to get as well. So I think you're going to really, really love it. They've got a fantastic setup. Retrieving says, but Scopely has already catered to the Uber whales by making all of these new rounds and rounds of harder hostiles, which only pushes players who are trying to progress with low or no spend. Yes and no, Retrieving. The key thing is don't, like Ghost Pepper, don't go up too fast. Give yourself the time to develop your account. So maybe involuntarily, what they've created is more people to sort of camp a bit and get themselves up there, then push to the next level. And you don't have to have everything right away. Nothing.
Well, and Nigel, that's one thing, right? And again, I know we've in our other Discord, right? We've talked about that where,
yes,
the speed at which some of the player base within the G7, have become accustomed to, right? They were able to fly through the levels, quickly, right? I mean, we've talked to some players that are, if you look at a new server, they're 0 to 60, right? Or 50 or whatever it is within 17 days.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's just, that's fast, right? Like that's crazy fast. But I do think then that does somewhat set an expectation that that's how quickly it is. And I see that within G7 right now, where for me, yeah, I'm still doing my spend and whatnot, but I'm not necessarily trying to get to 74, 75, 76.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, okay, I'll put a little bit of money here and there. I'll play the game as I see fit, because I personally see it as it's going to be glacially slow on purpose. And I think to some extent, a lot of players that are trying to progress because they want to be up there at the top are then pushing to, hey, it's got to be faster. And it's
Yeah,
kind of one of those like, hey, I want to go faster. And they're going, great, we don't want you to. And we're not going to move, right? And so then it's like, but I want to do that. And it's like, but we're not going to let you. And so it's kind of a weird, right?
Yeah, Beach Whale's jumping in as well. Go on, Beached.
So I just want to say something for the mid ops players, because I hear this a lot from my guys.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't, want to be able to enjoy the game and not necessarily progress. The problem is Scopely keeps putting in grinds that they can barely do.
Yeah.
And it just frustrates them.
Mm-hmm.
And, great camp. There's great ships at mid ops, but if you can't do the loops, what's the point? They just get frustrated with everything and then just don't bother doing the loops.
Yeah. And Ghost Pepper completely agrees with you there, Beach Whale. She's at Ops 47, and McShiz brings up a good point. It's not camping, it's strategic progression, which is correct. There is that, and loads of stuff that are super long and so on. So Ghost Pepper is bringing up a good point there. That's really nicely done. Yes, Netniv.
For me, I've always said I tend to do the things I can do and go through. And I'm not total efficiency kind of guy. I'm not. Because, for example, I can't do the Orions. And for me, I'm happy with that. They're one thing I know I can't do. So I don't let that dictate how I'm going to enjoy the game and what I'm going to do. But I can see some people would get frustrated that they can't do it, because there are some people, unfortunately, that are into the whole completionist thing and need to do absolutely everything in the game. And they will struggle with that. For me, I just try to enjoy what I can do. So, when I went to go to 66, I was like, well, I can go to 66. Everything else I can do can go to 66. So what can't I do? And I looked at it and, all right, I can't do the Orions, but will that affect the rest of my game? Can I do my dailies? Can I do most of my events? Yes, I can. So why let that one area hold me back when I can?
Because
go on, Beach.
When Scopely pushes a new ship like the Excelsior and people go and buy it and then still can't do the loop, that's where the problem is. Granted, sounds like they got it right with the Sphere. It's based on the tier of the ship, not your option.
Yeah.
So that's where the frustration happens when Scopely convinces players, you need this ship to do this, and then they still can't do it unless they go spend $500, $600. And most players aren't doing that.
Yeah.
And I do have a question.
Okay, I got $100 a month to spend.
Yeah,
I'm going to get the ship, and then I can't use it.
I hate to say, I'll say this, and it probably won't be that popular, but you can do most things. Yeah, okay, you can't necessarily get all the way down the challenge track, but you can get quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
So it comes down to what your expectation is to get back, and
the expectation is there's one piece of the challenge track that requires the ship, and Scopely go buy this great new ship to do this, and then they can't do it. That's where the problem is.
Yeah. So
asking players to spend their money on something, and they do, and then they can't do it.
Yeah, true.
So one of the things, and Shiz puts out a good one here, right? He talks about, he's like, folks try to push the narrative, oh, rewards are bigger, but that still requires handling content, which is, how by punching up. And I think if I got you right on that, Shiz, right? I think there has been this, and maybe it's the CCs, maybe it's other players, maybe it's whatever it is, right? But we can see that they do want the mid ops to accelerate through to get there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, and again, I don't know, right? I'm playing G7 a little bit differently than I've played every other level, which is I'm going to do and fill in as I go. Now, is that the most efficient way to do it? Is that going to be the cheapest possible way to do it? I'm probably not.
Yeah.
But that also, I think, in my mind, ensures that as I go there, my account is going to be strong enough that I can take care of anything that they happen to throw along that journey.
Yeah.
And I do think to some extent, we've or a lot of players have gotten comfortable where I'm going to go ahead and jump up to, let's just say I'm going to jump up to 66 or whatever it is, right? I'm going to jump up there because I see those packs. I see those event rewards. I see all of that stuff. So they ops up. They leave themselves kind of empty within the research and stuff. And I'm not saying it's a bad strategy.
Yeah.
But then when they start throwing these new things out, they are struggling to hit there. Now, I think the mean on this needs to be, what does a player that is filled in look like compared to somebody who's basically flying around with tin ships, right, or paper ships?
Yeah.
And what does that look like?
Yeah.
And then that's where they should probably be looking at events where you don't have to be completely filled in order to achieve it.
Yeah. True.
But you should be at least a decent, filled in account.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some players are struggling, to be fair, by jumping up quick and not filling in there. And that's kind of, I think that's what you're talking about as well, right? Is, make sure that you can complete the stuff as you go. You may not need to necessarily do it all, but you need to make sure you're filled in. And then if you take the jump, you've got to be willing to accept the risk that by jumping up a little bit sooner than you should, it's going to be a lot tougher. And is that where you want to be at? And if so, cool, then jump up there and take that risk.
Yeah, exactly. And
so one issue I have with that is just the simple fact that Scopely for the lower levels made it so easy. And this comes down to a mental effort.
Yeah.
People want to see advancement. If they're not advancing, then they're like, why am I playing this game? This goes back to the same thing I keep saying about there's nothing in the game that makes players go, I'm excited this is coming up. There's really nothing epic in the game.
Yeah.
They use that word way too much.
What I'd love
for these lower ops.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just they're saying, oh, well, I can advance. I shouldn't have because I get better rewards. And that comes back to Scopely going, making it, you have to advance to get better rewards, but then if you advance, you can't do stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, true. And Raider says the Excelsior tasks are based on ship tier and easy complete. So they're hoping with that. I'm going to open the floor to Zedacron as well. He's been waiting patiently. Zedacron, bud, what would you like to say?
Yeah, well, the whole jumping ops thing for the sake of jumping ops, I mean, that was fine prior to the V'ger challenge track.
Uh-huh.
I mean, many people could do it. They can still do their events. They can still do their dailies. They could still progress at a decent rate. But at the same time, Scopely was looking at that and realizing, hey, people are doing this too quickly. I mean, the case in point, G6, with a lot of players being able to progress through it in less than a year.
Yeah.
So
that's
now you got to measure your expectations with what it is you're going to be able to do should you decide to go up one ops level and sit there for, say, a couple weeks. Or if you want to progress super fast and jump up 2 ops levels in one day.
Yeah, true. But also,
you have to give and take.
Yeah, and you have to expect that if you do rush through the ops, you've got a lot to catch up on. So if you did decide that was the way, like Retrieving brings up a point saying, I don't know about other low G7 players, but I advance appropriately based upon what was available at the time. The new round of harder hostiles came up after I and others moved to G7, which appropriately powered accounts at the time. I agree. So those were a bit of a surprise, but there's always the percentage of people that are going to struggle there while they're rebalancing in quotation marks the game because they want people to take a bit longer. Yeah.
One of the players in my alliance is somebody that often used to jump well ahead of me, right? And he used to go, hey, I'm now, say, like when we were going through G5, I'd be like 53 and I'd be sitting there at 53 and he'd just jump all the way to 57.
Yeah.
But then, give it a couple of months, I got to 60 before him because I built up my research and I'd done all those other things. And then he was struggling and he was like, I can't do this and I can't do that. Yeah. And I had players going into G6 saying that they can't do certain things. I'm like, but I can do this and I'm only in G5.
Yeah, true. And
so there are.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the question is, do we need to measure progress only by ops level? I mean, maybe we should kind of start to say, officer progression, ship progression, whatever progression.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to play that game.
I agree.
And I know there are certain CCs out there promoting like rush ops as fast as you can.
Yeah.
But I'd say it's different for everybody and take your time and see progression in your officer or in stuff you couldn't do beforehand. Maybe that's more fun.
Remember,
yeah.
Copley's also pushing the progression because they've specifically stated, we want everybody to be in a 20 range because it's easier to develop. So Scopely's pushing to advance because that's where we want you, and then players are stuck and not happy.
Yeah,
and then they spend. I mean, it's a business. It's not the best tactic and maybe not the fairest.
Yeah,
but they don't spend.
But let
80%
me.
of the players in this game spend less than $100 a year.
Yeah, and also Beachwell, something to support your argument here as well. Your rebuttal is Simon has brought up a good point. He says, I would counter that jumping ops was never a good idea. Pushed back in the day and spent months, if not years, recovering. Solar Walden though says, unfortunately, we have loads of players in this game that chase ops levels increase instead of making sure their research ships and buildings are completed before moving up. Find themselves unable to hit the current hostiles or complete events easily. The problem is we can click on operations, right? And we can say, I'm going to work my way through to get operations as high as I can to go to the next tier. We don't go, what are the gaps that I need to fill in except to what the game can get me there faster. Callie Mested, who's an Ops 55, right on the edge, he says, where I found harder was not being able at ops level for newest content at times of release. I did push to 51 when that was the release minimum as well, and I pushed to 55 as currently that's the newest content minimum. It's definitely not for everyone, though. It's very interesting. Loads of different tactics. Yes, Crisito.
Yeah, and Nigel, so one of the things, right, the whole idea with the pushing up, if you look back as to what that strategy or it was, you're talking, I don't know, what, G4-ish era?
Yeah.
That wasn't that big of a deal, right? Like doing it back then was probably okay. And the reason for that was you had PMC, right? So it didn't matter. You could shoot all the way up to G5 before they put in there, even G6 at the time, but you could push all the way up there till they capture or cap that crew because you could punch way up. And so, yes, at the time, going up in ops was way better, way more beneficial because you would be able to still go kill hostiles that were way above your weight class and benefit from doing that. And I think either they've seen that and they don't want it, or two, they're looking at it saying that's a bad mistake, which is why we're seeing a lot of these capping of things is that they want, or maybe they want us to kind of sit back and enjoy or play it as is. Now, as players, we're looking at that saying, whoa, by me slowing down or by me staying lower, that doesn't make me feel good necessarily, right? I want to be able to do, and I've seen it in a lot of the other Discord, especially in the private one, where players are coming in saying, I used to be able to ops up, every single month, or I used to be able to do a building like every single week, right? Like that kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, that's not the way it is anymore, unfortunately, right? Like it used to be cool. But that does then for those players and for the upper ones, make it feel as though we're not progressing. And I think that's the one thing that, Beach Whale and I think even, Quasar was saying is they've got to give us a way so that we can see that progression or feel like we're progression, even if we're not, right? The ability to do, hey, look, I was able to max an officer, or I was able to, whatever it is, that's got to be there in order to keep us around. If it's overwhelming and daunting, players are going to be like, I have no chance of doing that. I'm not going to spend $100,000 or whatever it is to get there, so I'm out. And they're going to wait until that is the pace available.
Yes, Sniper.
Over.
And I think to that point that Crisito is kind of making, people are not really clear on what different things can get them, right? Because I think there's a few ways of measuring progression. Like, sure, people see ops as just progression, right? And we talked about the other things they can do progression, but really, I think the measuring stick of progression is what you're capable of doing, right? Like, how many hostiles can I take down? Which level hostile can I take down? Like, that could be officers, that could be research, that could be ops, it could be ship types, it could be all sorts of things that feed into that. I think the problem is there's so many things in the game that players aren't really clear. Like, I remember back in the old days when there was less things in G3 or G4, and having the right crew on a ship, you could take 2 ships out grinding, have one ship with PMC and one ship with some other crew, and you just see like the PMC crew would, just wreck everything. And to the point, it's not just punching up. It was you got used to being able to grind, right? You got used to being able to, even if you weren't punching up, even if you're punching your own level, hey, I could kill 100, 200, 300 hostiles on one hull. And then you get to the levels where you can no longer use those crews, and all of a sudden, hey, I'm only like able to, even I could kill this hostile, I can only kill like 5 of them on a hull. It's a humbling experience, right? So I think, players, there's probably need for even in-game. I mean, obviously content creators are there to help, and, voice of player and things help, but I think there should be some in-game focus by Scopely to show, hey, here are the things they're going to affect your ability to do these hostiles, right, or to punch up, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
The other side to that is that a lot of the buildings and stuff that we focus on are ops, and they are things that make ops go through. But there's a lot of little satellite buildings around, and some of those require small drips that we get. And without those, people that rush forward through the ops, because you can get through to 40 in less than 30 days easily.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you don't have those things built up.
Yeah, that's true. And Floyd Davino brings up a very good point as well, Cruzito, which I want to add to our little conversation here. It's more than just research. My research the last 4 op levels have been at ops level. It's stuff like chaos tech, forbidden techs, and officers, which I would never stop progression for. But that's his style on how he approaches it. Some people will approach it saying, I want to max the best thing. The way I approached it, Cruzito, was I'd always have one ship and I put everything into it. It doesn't sound like a good idea, but I put everything into it, and I keep getting as much. I keep getting as much sort of bits and buildings and things done while I'm progressing that ship to the point where I'm killing 1 or 2 or 3 hostile levels above. Then I go up. That was my style. So Floyd brings up a very good point, but that's how I played it, which I think is quite interesting.
And I think so.
One of the things funny.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go on.
I just yesterday I discussed with Lightbull if we can kind of apply that stuff I did with him for the officer cheat sheet to research and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So we kind of could get what an average player has, or what could you have at a certain ops range for critical hit damage, for critical hit chance, based on your account, because Box.club can export it. We just need to tag it and file it. And well, let's see. Maybe we can get something working there, because we have part of it for the officers already done. We just need to classify all the rest, and then we might have an idea finally. Though I think that should be in game. I discussed it with Viper 1 or 2 weeks ago. Like, why don't we see in game, based on a target, what our stats are,
Yeah,
because we have no idea in the end.
I mean, a Fox.
We have no idea.
Yeah, I'll just say this quickly before we jump to Cruzito. A Fox says some key metrics for PvE, PvP, efficiency, etc., like they did with the mess hall. Yes, Cruzito.
Well, and so one of the things, and I don't know, I hope that they continue doing, right? So one of the things that, at least in the early ops, right now, we didn't have that necessarily, but if you look at what they're doing now, right, with those pioneers, they did it with Makala. They're introducing little things that allow us to kind of those task things, right? That used to be our dailies, right? Our dailies let us know that we were progressing every day, right? I mean, it's like, hey, I'm able to go and hit X amount of hostiles. Cool.
Yes.
And I could see that okay, it took me 20 minutes day 1. And then I would do something like, oh, wow, I'm able to get them done quicker, right? There was that little metric. And I think if they continue displaying, not necessarily giving us more tasks, but putting those kind of things, what they're doing right now with the tasks, that they show us that little bit of progression.
Yeah.
I think that then psychologically is going to keep the players like they're feeling like they're doing something. Because in G7 today, right? I don't know about you, but for me, all I know is that I go every day, I click the ops button and I'm like, okay, let me go down the tree to see, is there anything I can potentially do, right? Like that's it. And I'm like, okay, maybe next week. But in the meantime, I'm doing these little tasks over there. And that at least lets me to like, hey, you know what? I think if I keep doing these, I might get closer to that, right? Even if it's that far away, it doesn't make it feel like it's that far away because I'm occupied.
Let me
go ahead.
Change your opinion on that one. So I've gone to no spend, and Scopely's going to have to, well, other than $20 BP, and Scopely's going to have to prove to me that I should spend on this game again. And there's something coming from me on that. Since I've gone to $20 BP only, my current calculation, I only need to do my ops billing to go to 74, 86 weeks. But enough to get the last 13,000 rare or 6 weeks, $20 BP.
Yeah, but let me explain. Like in that time, an efficiency will appear, or whatever will appear, or they'll make it easier. They'll give you more in rewards, or they'll give you more in events.
So I gotta sit. So you have to sit here though for 6 months to 8 months. I mean, so far they've given us multiple efficiencies that don't do crap.
Yeah.
What are they doing to show me that even at my level, you're advancing? Because there's not one thing showing me that I'm advancing.
But I think you're talking from the absolute top end, right? And at the top end, there's always growing pains.
Well, I am for this one, yes.
Yeah. For this one,
there really wasn't growing pains in G6 compared to the.
Yeah, I agree. But however, people can shift their mentality as a business, right? It seems, I don't really know the answer. It seems in their mentalities they want to extend as much of these arcs as possible, so they're making them harder or not as difficult. Or anything else. And Ascendancy brought up a good point. He says, I'd love Scopely just release what base these hostiles are off for the player. That way it's easier for player to sort of make a decision. They obviously will never give you the solution or tell you this is what we based it. I think that the discovery and the finding out and the doing that stuff and figuring it out is what this game has always been about, and it's never this the solution. Crisito, I would love to give Relentless the floor just for a brief movement because I've made him wait for ages. Relentless, what would you like to say, buddy?
So I'd like to just piggyback on what you guys are saying. Scopely really wants us to develop, call it laterally.
Yeah.
They don't want us to push the ops at full speed at all times. They want you to work on your officers and get your ships together and researches.
Yeah.
But, like Crisito said earlier, there aren't very many signals to say, hey, you're camping right now. And to me, camping means you're able to move up. You're capable of moving up, but you're not, so you can reap rewards or you're scared or whatever reason.
Yeah.
To me, camping isn't just being at an ops. It's being at the ops and saying, hey, I'm enjoying myself. I'm going to be here for a while. I don't need to move up. But there's no, there aren't many banners waving in the game that say, comparing myself to another alliance mate, hey, this looks easy for you. When you were at this ops, you were able to do this.
Yeah.
Well, if we go through and compare our accounts, I have this, I've done this. I also bought this and I have this. Well, if you're not as capable of moving up and moving on, there's not a lot in the game that tells you that you've developed in a direction that Scopely thinks or the game thinks that you're ready to move on. And there's no substitute for time in that situation.
Yeah.
Except for money. Okay, except for money. But, you can't buy, except for time with a free-to-play player, you need time to do that. And pushing your ops faster and faster, it doesn't leave you the time to develop laterally instead of just going straight up.
Yeah, true. RSDJ brings up a good point. He says, Nigel, my reaction going to the G6 verse I thought is, what the hell is this Sigma stuff? Well, welcome to world of hell for you, sir. Simon says, I've had a lot less issue with experimenting with cruise ship and tech ship setup if Sigma Trick wasn't such a galactic drip. And that's a very critical thing. Yes, go on.
Yeah. And Nigel, and this is where, and I don't know, right? It would be interesting for somebody to come out and kind of talk about the strategic change, right? And maybe it was just something that went on, right? But if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Those generations,
yes,
they were, I think, similarly to what we're going to experience now in G7. And for anybody that's been around that long, please let me know if I'm off, right? But I think the spend seems at significantly a lot more. I get it. But it was at the beginning of each of those, it was not that way. And it's almost like G6, when they launched that, they went and lost their minds, right? Like there was something that shifted within the company or within there that said, "Hey, let's go down this route." And it probably was financial related, whatever it is. But when they did that, it made a massive change in how players play the game. Because before, you used to have to make sure that you were solid or at least pretty close to solid in your count. The fact that players were able to take a G5 ship, right? A G5, let's even say a rare, maybe an epic, right? The fact that you could take a G5 epic and get all the way to Ops 66, 67 and breeze through it, that was crazy, right? Like the fact that, I mean, you had content creators that were still playing with their epics all the way into Ops 66 and still being able to complete their daily.
Well, I could tell you exactly what it was, right? As a early adopter of G6, when it wasn't that, it was isolytic damage.
Well,
right?
that also
Oh,
points out how bad that the uncommons were.
Yeah, but let's let Sniper finish. Yeah, isolating damage was the one that came through, right? Sniper, yeah.
Yeah, because isolytic damage bypassed standard mitigation, and none of the FKR hostiles were designed at the time when isolytic existed, so they never went back and gave them isolytic defense. So as soon as you started getting piles and piles and piles of isolate damage, like even your lowest ship is just putting out massive amount of damage to anything that didn't have isolytic defense. So you can punch up like crazy. When G6 first came out, the G5 epics, could barely touch the first first level of G6s, right? You get this, even the higher level the higher 60s to 61s, you can maybe kill a few of them, but you weren't grinding. And once ISO came out, you started ripping through them.
Right. And I think that was the thing, right? That ISO coming out wasn't necessarily bad. I think it was just the amount of it, right? Like it was, it's almost like they didn't learn their lesson from PMC, if you will.
Yeah.
Right? Because ISO was the new version of PMC, right? Like it should have, like, hey, we're gonna fix. Oh crap! And they, again, they've never really been big fans of nerfing. I think at that time they said, hey, we're going to be able to make some bank off of ISO. We're going to put it in PvP. We're going to put it in all these other places. And you had players that went from 60 to 70 and were losing their minds over it, spending like crazy. And then I think as they did it, they realized, oh, that's way too much, right? We have players that are already at Op 70 within a matter of what? I think a month, I think is who was that got up there, right? Was that the Ska? Was that the... Who was it that got up there, right? Month? I mean, that's crazy. And so then they sat around for 18 months or whatever it was. And I have to at least say, I think for the health of the game, the fact that they are slowing down G7, I think that's good long term.
Yeah.
It does suck for us players that are there now because we're looking at it going, man, I don't want it to be that slow. For me, this is the first time I'm at the top or towards the beginning of a generation. And so it's interesting. But I also see and feel for the folks that got to 60 and 70 really, really quick within a matter of a year. And now we're sitting here going, I don't want to play this. I want to be able to ops up at least, once a month or whatever that is. And I just don't know that that's the case anymore. I think it's probably more like one ops every 2, if not 3 months.
Yeah. Go on, Beach Whale.
I was just going to counter or say one thing there is that, again, it just comes back to the advancement. And I agree, even when G6 released, at this point, I didn't spend anywhere near as much as I to get. And that's fine slowing it down. But again, this goes back. And I agree, the game probably did need to be slowed down because there's multiple people on my server now that have gone to 70 just using a G5 up.
Yeah.
But they need to make it, even if they're going to slow it down, they still need to find a way to give players that excitement to feel like they're going out and grinding your dailies every day, every event, the rewards that are there currently.
Yeah.
Excitement.
Yeah.
It's not about being able to do your ops. Well, there needs to be excitement in the game.
Yeah, and I think that there is retrieving brings up a few good points. I think that back up.
Where's excitement in the game?
Yeah, just bear with me, Beach Dwell. Retrieving brings up a good point. He says that, originally players were set up with an ops level. They go up to that ops level and they do their thing. I'm just summarizing a little bit. Retrieving. Let me know if I get it wrong, but basically, people who are now up 70, they've set themselves up, they're all ready to go, everything's great. Like JKUK says, I'm an up 17, kill a 71, Orion, no problem. Suddenly, a new hostile arrive, and it forces you to struggle, and you have to be a lower ops level to kill it. That the players did pass the prior check, but now they're suddenly being upgraded to this new level, and they haven't had the chance to upgrade their accounts by having history to get to that level. I think that's what you're trying to say, retrieving. And I say, sure, what that means is now you reach that level is that I wouldn't say like Tech One says, like, okay, so I just wait for the V'ger Orion. Some things you can skip. You can actually go past and say, I can see people as 70, 71 to do it because I need the next ship thing. The problem is we have two different ops levels in the game, right? So the main ops level that you have is that you have the ops level, which is the number that you have on your account. The other ops level is the ship level you have at whatever account number you have, which is something they've never considered. So a 63, a 66, a 70, a 73, so on and so forth are all different ship abilities. So Riskbreaker's like, you don't have to do that content right away exactly. It's not holding you back. And that's what I mean. So when Tech One says like, hey, I've managed to kill, at 67, finally the Orion. However, Tech One, the next ship jump ops level at 70 might allow you to get through all the pain points. So it might be a point where you say, okay, I can jump to 70 and go through the pain just so I can kill these hostiles now at that level comfortably because I have a ship that can actually do it. So it's a strategic progression. Deciding I'm going to jump to the next ship level is where I jump and stop. And deciding whether I need to get that ship to help me progress or whether I'm willing to skip a few things to go to the next level. There are two ops levels in the game. Everyone looks at power. That doesn't matter. You look at the number on the building. That's another thing. The ship yard and what you have is a completely different thing as well. That's really important to figure out. That's really important to do because loads of people have been said, "Oh, you can use specialty ships and work your way through to all the way to the next level. It's not a problem." Yes, but it means that when it comes to speciality events that include FKR sort of type ships, now Quasel, you struggle, right? Because the strategy is technically in the game to figure it out and decide what's right and wrong. The thing is, we obviously want everything. But if you don't have the FKR ship, you've made a decision to skip that specific loop until you get to that level. So both are saying the right thing. Retrieving's right. It's like it's not holding you back. It's readjusting your brain. Remember when I said a couple of months back, Chris Ito, what is completion? We need to change what that means. What is progression? We need to change what that means now. What is upping up? And what is jumping? What is strategic progression? What is spending? What do you think?
Right. And Nigel, that's the one thing, right? So I think up until the G6 era, or maybe even a little bit, after it had launched, right? Once it became really, really, really fast. I think that's the one thing that there's subtlety in the messaging, right? And maybe they're letting having you guys as the mods, or they're having the CCs kind of deliver that message. But I think to some extent, and maybe they're doing it because there's a business side of it.
Yeah.
But I do think to some extent, they've got to, at some point, come out and just tell us it frankly, right? Like just boom, like, hey, guys, so here's the deal.
Yeah.
G6, it went way too fast. Absolutely went too fast. And we are going to slow everything down and put that within their words. And maybe they have, and we're just kind of ignoring it because that's not what we want to hear. But I think they need to, from a perspective, they need to come out with clear from them, not necessarily using the mouthpieces. And while we do love what you guys are doing, I think it would be different coming from them. And that's the level of transparency that we need. Like, hey, guys, we lost our minds in the G6 era, and we're trying to go back to, quote unquote, our roots on how things were. this is going to be the impact. You're not going to feel like you're moving, really quickly, but we have a reasoning, and here's why we're doing that.
It probably is a business decision why wouldn't do that. Just give me a second, Beachwell. I'll let you jump in.
Sure.
But I
Go
just want to make sure Retrieving's point is brought up because Ascendancy agrees. The analogy would be like making weight for a wrestling match, but only after you sign up, they move it up. So you're now in a weight class with wrestlers 50 pounds heavier than you. And you can't go back to the prior weight class. This is where... about Scopely should be transparent about killing a certain hostile. Yes, but they should educate you more. I'm seeing the blogs getting better and better. There's way more information. They're telling us things 3 weeks in advance. And that's really important. What do you think about Retrieving's quote? Like, for me, and I know it's hard to say this, and you Ascendancy, you probably disagree as well, but it, for me, is like, yes, you can't make that weight class, so you're right at the bottom of the chain. You suddenly go, wow, this wrestler's now been allowed in this weight class has moved, and now there's players who are, there's wrestlers who are 50 pounds heavier. I'm going to lose a few matches until I gain the weight, and then eventually being able to make it. But I know that if I work my way up 100 pounds heavier and become heavier than all of them and jump another weight class, I'll be really athletic at that weight class and do something different. So what do you think about that? But Beachwell, jump in with your quotes as well, please.
Just skip me for the moment.
Oh yeah, no problem.
As long as I'm not interrupting.
Yeah. What do you think, Sniper?
So, an interesting thing is I know there were some players who weren't big fans of the whole mission chain thing to get into G7, right? But I think there's something to be said for that, right? And I don't know that you want to necessarily make it a gate, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you have to do this. But, just going back to what I was saying around, making it clear to players on progression, like maybe there's an opportunity here for like a per ops level mission chain that says, hey, like an ops prep mission chain doesn't require to go to the next op level, but it gives you maybe a reward that makes it easier to go to the next ops level, and it takes you through the things. Hey, hit 10 Zindies at your level, if you're a lower level, or whatever the new given hostile is, do 3 Borg Conquer Armadas, whatever it is, right? And it gives you a nice little bump of rewards to the next thing. And players, if they choose to take advantage of it, it kind of like walk them through what Scopely considers the most important things for them to be capable of doing for the next ops level. Like, and it could also show progression. Like, hey, I couldn't beat this mission before, and now I can.
Yeah,
the problem with that is they would need to redesign it every time a new content comes out. Because one of the problems currently, and I do get it, that people that progress too fast with them current content now face challenges they didn't expect beforehand. So even if they had these checks and balances, which they had with the G7 start and people ignored them, they still would run into the issues because the content beforehand would have allowed them that. And maybe we need to get better to ignoring stuff that we can't do, and then all kind of go slower and go prepare better. They for sure will give those challenges because they want the money.
Yeah,
they want the money. That's why you're forcing people into spots where you kind of have issues, and you either say, okay, I'm working through it and enduring the pain, or there's the easy way out. Spend a little bit of money.
Okay.
I mean, it's part of the deal. I'm quite sure.
Yeah, let's let Beachwell.
But it's a business.
Let's Beachwell.
Again,
sorry.
The majority of players do not spend on this game, and everybody keeps saying, "Well, just skip that. Don't do it." Well, then why are you playing the game if you just?
Because there's other things you can do.
Yeah,
you're playing the game, but here's the thing. Well, I need those rewards to advance. I am not advancing. Am I playing this game? Can't keep saying, well, just because you're. And what needs to be, I'm going to add one more thing and I'll shut up again. I disagree with both counts you guys are saying. One thing in most games you play, you go see a hostile and it has 1 skull or 2 skulls or 3 skulls. You're like, yeah, don't even bother. But you can figure out, okay, well, what do I need to do to be able to kill that? there's, and people brought this up. There's really nothing in game that, well, this is what you need to do. And again, on with the spending, I'd say less than 85% of the players don't listen to content creators at all.
Cool. No, I understand that. Everyone's got an opinion. Hopefully, a lot of these differentiating opinions has helped people understand how they would approach the game and how they would progress. And there's loads of different progressions. And Retrieving is right. He's brought up a very good point, which unfortunately affects a limited set of players, sadly, that are getting affected by the fact that something's becoming a lot harder at their level when they have progressed and done the things that they have to do for that level, which puts them in a very difficult situation of making a decision whether to go up or to go down. Panda Paris says that everyone needs to just take a chill pill. This is why Panda focused on officers. There isn't much game design that can throw at me that isn't achievable. Trying to find shortcuts to higher up levels might be clever in the short term, but there's always long-term consequences. I don't think we need HQ to be Big Brother telling us how to play and how to play. Just let let everyone.
And I think that's it, right? And Panda summarized it really, really well, right? Where now to something that Beachwell was saying, right? Like if you click on a hostel today, right? Now I remember, again, this is way back. I remember clicking on it, and even if you do now, and it'll tell you, it's like very hard, easy, whatever that is, right? Like that, those used to mean something. Today, not so much, right? Because I can go, so for instance, I'm looking at something that says very hard.
Yes.
All right, great. But I know I can absolutely wreck it. So I think that's one thing too, because they've introduced all of these things within the battle engine that happen after combat, and these things are not taking that into account. And so I do think that there's something they've got to at least let the players know. I also think the era of the metas, to some extent, we became lazy, right? Where it's like, hey, it doesn't matter what it says. I've got PMC or I got whatever.
Yes.
I just wipe through everything like butter. Where now, and maybe this is the mark that Scopely has missed, because I see it a lot within my alliance where I see some other CCs or players like, I want the challenge. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then there are players that are absolutely 100%. I don't necessarily want the challenge. I just want to be able to see it. Yep, it's easy. I click the button, I go kill it, and I move.
Yeah, exactly.
And unfortunately, that gap, when you're looking at a game design perspective, right, or just whatever it is, you are almost taking two different games altogether, and you're not going to be able to fit that. And I think that's the problem right now, is that, and even within the spend piece, right? There are players that are saying, hey, I can't get to this. I'm going to spend to be able to do it. Great. That helps you. I think right now, spend isn't necessarily helping that because there is no meta anymore. And I do think a lot of players are pretty frustrated by the fact that there are no metas.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why that's why Panda Pirate does really well. I mean, he's always had really good officers and can sort of catch up. So maybe that's the thing that I remember Rev Deuce used to say it from the beginning. Officers are forever, and that's something that's really important that's been said.
But, I mean, and I guess that's the meta, right? The meta is get all the officers, right? Then you're solid. Then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But I do think to some extent, there are some things, right? The fact that they are capping these officers, yes, that sucks because maybe players invest in whatever it is, but I think also it's how do you make the game challenging for those players that want that, but also don't make it so hard that players that just want the clicker game leave either, right? That's the $1 million question.
Yeah, true. And also, they've always struggled with this very weird 67 to 70, 71 if you don't have the vengeance balance. That's always been something you're stuck on. They've struggled to try and find a good balance to make work, and which is why you've got people like Tech One and so on and so forth.
The
Momtroy,
reason for that, Nigel, is that the ships were garbage, right? I mean, that's the problem, right? And I know that they can't go back and do it because there's money, whatever. But I mean, the 60s wouldn't be an issue if the ships weren't as bad as what they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean,
but they always struggled with targeting properly. each ship tier generation. It's been an issue in G5 4 times when they gave you tasks and stuff like Silence, where they kind of missed where ship brackets were and stuff like that. So that's the whole game design issue with this massive scaling of ships.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
But also, I've got to come back to two specific comments. Free Schwag said, flawed logic. Officers are not forever. PMC shows that it's as this is previously discussed. Yes, but if you have all the officers really good, you have other officers to put in. Remember, I'm going to point you.
We took a 5-year ride with PMC, right? So like we can't. I mean, I don't know how much more forever we really need because I mean, in a game, 5-year ride on an officer that Yeah, I think that's a pretty good ride, right? I think that one is probably okay.
Yeah, and Mom Troy says, first time chatter says, the fact that officers are found in too many places, it can take me a full day to find what an officer I want to attain. Agreed. And I think we need to find a tool set that kind of guides people to where everything is. But remember one thing.
What would be good there?
Yeah.
What would be good there, before you just go on to the next bit, since you're talking about officers, is since I don't know whether everybody's noticed, but the research now has a search feature.
Yes.
Why didn't we get that with officers at the same time?
Well,
even just
that would be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
And because we're always searching research.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And that is a community mod capable of doing any filtering or searching for officers?
We tend to not mess with the UI stuff. We do the things behind the scenes. For you.
Come on, man.
Me and my helpers. And it's not just me that writes code these days. I have other people helping as well.
Let me write code. I'll put a research thing in.
Go on then. You do it. Put in a PR, and if it's good quality coding, we'll accept it.
And then send me the documentation. I'll put it in PR.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Sniper's there to support that. But one of the things Quazel's put an officer's sheet here, Mom Troy, which is available to look at, which tells you where everything is and how things are. Ascendancies, we aren't accepting AI code. Yeah, exactly. Ascendancy. Well, hey, mate, I was going to try and get hold of someone who can actually help. I mean, but the key thing is to have officers at different levels and have officers different so that you can attack it. So now they're saying if you use these 3 officers, you will die. You're like, hey, doesn't matter. I got EA data that replaces Janeway. Which brings me to a point. Remember, Crisito. Remember, I always give hints 3 months in advance, right? Remember what I said? I said, make sure you have an officer that is similar to another officer so that as the same level so that if you said you couldn't use them for whatever reason, because they're on a different ship, which is what I said then, you could use them now. Do you now understand why I said it? Because now, if you don't have Janeway, you had E-Data. If you don't have E-Picard, you've got who? Do you know what I mean? Like E. Riker. Okay, and then you need to counter his other ability. If you don't have SNW Pike, you've got Walk Carroll. And you've got, things like that. It's understanding differentiations of these things will give you an opportunity to attack anything with riddles. There's always riddles. I know, riddles within riddles. Pitu's like, oh my God, I just saw the research tree. Love it. Pitu is so excited. You just made someone's day. Go on.
And Nigel, to your point, right? And I think now, again, everybody that's here, right? We're obviously listening to those hints, and maybe we pass it on to our alliance mates, and they may or may not care, right?
Yeah.
I think one of the things, and I still say it, and I hope you guys keep getting the audience bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Because I think that's only good for the game. But we're looking at maybe 20% at the high end of anybody in the game that's playing, right? 200,000. You guys maybe collectively have, I don't know what, 10,000, give or take, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the one thing is that while we're passionate, and maybe this isn't why they're doing that, is that the other 200,000 or whatever it is, they don't care about that kind of stuff. They're just going to go still play it. Maybe they're figuring it out. Maybe they leave. And I think for us, we want those kind of things. And I think that's something that we've got to make sure that Scopely understands that, hey, those of us that are engaged will then be able to help your community get there. And I think by those little bit of tools, and it'll lessen the frustration, right? And I think that's the one thing when we talk quality of life. Well, it's okay, I'm in the game or not. They did that search thing. That's awesome. They did the filtering for the officers. Great. It says applying a state. Good. How about you let me pick the state that I want? This is burning. This is hull breach. This is whatever it is.
Yeah, true.
Those little changes will actually make life easier for us, especially when you're having to sit there and scroll for freaking, a day to go get the officer you want.
Yeah.
So, and I think those are easy wins, even from a coding perspective, right? Like that's an easy win. That takes, I don't know what maybe an hour, Quasel, something like that, right? Like, hey, we already have it. Just go key off of another tag or whatever it is, right? Those are quick, easy wins that they can do that will then lessen the frustration on players. And I think if they do that, the temperature goes down a little bit, and then we're going to be a little bit more willing to engage with them when they do have the snafus like this weekend or whatever that is, right?
Yeah, I mean, I will get to that next, but I want to give MJ Hat the floor as well, buddy. MJ Hat, you've listened to all these advices that's gone from the lower ops all the way to the top, from retrieving, making very good points with ascendancy, to the other side where people are saying, ops levels and that. What does that give you for your progression? Since you're a streamer that's basically, don't really buy many things, if any, what does that guide you towards?
Sorry, I was grabbing the baby, but I have been listening to everybody's perspective and whatnot. And, the idea for me is the ideas that we can put out there as a whole, like, it's very hard for me to speak on this because, we don't reach as many players as we would like to.
Yes.
As one of the smaller, maybe mid guys, I aspire to try to pass everything on that I learn. And we joke around, we have a good time, we cut up and there's chaos, but at the same time, there's good information out there for everyone to hear.
Yes.
And we just have to keep on trucking through it, man.
Yeah, true. And it brings me to a good point because my flat 1974 DP on Twitch says, any update on those 1 to 2 minute videos discussed? Listening to this helped me make it far better informed decisions. Yes, I have done 8 out of 15 already. But I need Putz to just check a few things, which brings me up to Putz. Putz says that we're giving a plug for the Officer March Madness Brackets contest. There is a Google link as well. I don't know if you got it, Niv. This link is to the sheet. So to play the NCAA March Madness in the US, I don't know how much you're aware of the American obsession with NCAA. Well, I don't, but sure. I don't think... and then he says, direction for the sheet. 64 officers face off in a single elimination tournament. STFC players can predict who they will win. Predict the bracket. Jules has created a super secret algorithm to determine the winner of each matchup. The winner predictions receives prizes, packs, first, second, and third. We'll do that. And minimally $100 for first place. He can't remember what DJ says, so don't tell him, that I've said the wrong thing. First place is $100 pack. It sounds like second place and third. Third place would be a battle pass. Second, I think, is there. Let's put a link to the sheet. I think DJs is the one that's doing this, so let's support that. Sounds like you can get some free stuff. Have you got the link, Niv? You can post in there.
I had it somewhere. I had it. I'm trying to find it on one of my many tabs.
Let me paste it to you on what I've got. So yeah, that's something. If you guys wish to join, it's from a content creator, Ultimate DJs. It sounds like they've got a March Madness bracket. Sounds like fun. Sounds like a playoff type thing, and the winner, can win $100 or various $100 packs. I think what it says. So don't go and get me wrong. There it is. March Madness is there. NetNiv's put it in. But also the massive shout out to Quasel for the officer spreadsheet as well, which has loads of updates and so on. So yeah, my flat, I'll release those videos soon. I was going to ask Crisito to do one of them because I think he's got a good voice for one of them, explaining states. I think I'm going to give you a fun one there, Crisito. Just record me a little voice. In under 30 seconds, I want to explain all the weird nitty gritty things in STFC, like what are states? And if someone asks you that question in 30 seconds, you can watch a video and go, that's what a state is. It's a hull breach, it's this, it's assimilate, it's morale, it's so on. So we'll be doing that as well, which of course, like, I'm going to give a brief message to the team over the weekend for Incursions. And I'm not going to leave it on a sour note because I took, one hell of a beating about it on Saturday. But it just shows how much people care about this game. So please, if you do want to make a change or you want to do something, give us a heads up like you've done with everything else, right? That's the first thing, which you have, and loads of players have given yes and no advices. Some people were really looking forward to seeing how the scoring is. APAC seem to have enjoyed doing it in that way. So it's a good thing. But the one thing is if you're doing a 24-hour support and if you pointed it out in a 24-hour time, I'm sure there was someone there at that time to be able to handle the situation. Because when things go wrong, minutes mean hours, hours mean days, days mean weeks. So you need to ensure that you can support it at that time, because it left us really pushing hard to figure out. Loads of people got stuck. Some people lost on quota. And then the other thing is, there's nothing wrong with giving us a little bit more in the compensation. Nothing wrong with just giving us more than you think, because what you think is a compensation in your world may be okay. But imagine if you just gave people something extraordinary in a replacement. Watch people understand. Watch people know. Watch people figure it out. People will love you more for being more honest and giving us the things that we deserve. Like, not 2 Sigma Trit, but just own it, take it, give us a great compensation, apologize, move on. It's really simple. But don't let us there for ages and ages waiting. Because people's accounts were stuck. People didn't even know they were finishing quota. And the problem is, they're not trusting your decision. And it's really horrible when players don't trust your decision. And it's really sad, because it shouldn't have gotten to this stage. So you've been brilliant giving us 2, 3, 1 week advances on things. I commend you for it. I commend you for the fact that you've given us this information, allow us an opportunity to debate it, but please don't come back with the words, let's see how it goes before we look at it. Listen.
So Nigel,
yes.
You're stuck with the comps, right? And again, maybe this is just semantics, right?
Yeah.
And it, so I think one thing out there, right? I think Scopely looks at this as, we're going to go ahead and compensate or give you back for things that you actually lost, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Fine. If that's what they need to go there. I think then they need to look and say, okay, here's our compensation for this. You weren't able to get in. This is what you actually lost.
Yes.
And then what they should do is come out and say, we're going to give you a gift, if you will, for things that you potentially could have gotten, right?
Yeah.
Now there's a difference. And I think maybe for me, I know, and I don't know if there's other players, right, that are looking at this because they relate the same, right? When you have these players that are, I had the potential to get X, Y, and Z if I was in the game the amount of time that I normally am.
Yes.
They look at that as a loss. Now, from Scopely's perspective, you didn't lose anything because you didn't have it to begin with, right? Like that, I think that's a key distinction. And I think that is something they need to maybe start breaking out. This is a compensation for things that you actually were not able to do or that you lost out on. And we're going to gift you something because we saw that you weren't able to do that. I think that gives those distinctions, and it would be massive for the community. Over.
Yeah, Sniper.
If I can for 1 second on this, because I'm pretty passionate when it comes to these compensation gifts. I don't think they're likely, ever going to totally be able to compensate everybody, especially who, people who would have come in first on the SLB and first on the bid, because it's hard for them to necessarily determine that and sort all that out. I get that, but to Cazito's point, there's 2 things to think about when you think about compensation. And I think Scopely only buckets it into one thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think they should start thinking about it as 2 distinct things. One is making players whole, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit of what Crazito was talking about, but I would say take it even a step further in the making players whole thing. So not just what you absolutely provably could lost, but like a reasonable, at least midpoint of what an average player could could have gotten that they didn't get, right? So that I consider the quote unquote making the players whole, right? Give me the thing that's related to whatever event or other thing that I wasn't able to do. And this is the one that we've talked about this before, Nigel. It should start immediately. That should start immediately, the making the player whole. So if, for instance, wave defenses aren't working, give me the wave defense credits right away, right? Just give like the outcome, not the directives or whatever it is. It's like, give me what I would win from wave defenses straight away until you fix it, right?
Yeah.
Just as an example, I'm not talking about wave defenses specifically, but
yeah.
Could be surges, could be incursions, could be whatever, right? The arenas, outposts, whatever, right? Whatever happens to be the broken thing of the day. Give me compensation on that so I can do my refinery pulls or whatever I need to do. Because again, we have cooldowns. Then at the end, what you can examine is part 2, which is the, hey, we're sorry we screwed up this feature for you and inconvenienced you. Now let me give you a bonus on top of what you would have gotten for just having done it. Now that could be related or unrelated directly to the feature, but let me give you something extra, a little, icing on the cake to say, hey, we're sorry we screwed up, or hey, we're sorry this cost you time or cost you stress or slowed down your progression, or hey, maybe you were the person who was for sure going to win the SLB and you didn't, so we know the comp is not going to make you whole, but here's a little something extra, right? So I think thinking in those 2 buckets and in that particular way of implementing it, where day 1, let's do everything possible to get out of comp to make you whole until we fix it. And then once we fix it, now we can go back and say, hey, what's the best way to either, go more specific and give, people things that we think they would have gotten, or, give that bonus icing on the cake. So that's what I think comp mentality needs to change with Scopely.
Well, they've changed their communication mentality recently, right? Their communication mentality has been suddenly, we're getting something a week in advance. They're telling us a week in advance. They've told us about changes week in advance. That is already a positive change. The same thing needs to be done with the comp. Like, okay, yes, it puts you, Scopely, under pressure by giving us something till it's fixed. But then the player's like, well, they've got to fix it. So it puts you under pressure to fix it in time. And Zedekron, you popped onto the stage. Hopefully you've got a few words about this, buddy. What would you like to say?
Yeah, the comp that we just got for U.S. servers not being able to participate in incursions.
Yeah.
I'm comparing this to something that is worse than if you got hurt and missed work and you got workers' comp in the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of feels very lax. They could have gave us a bit more.
Yeah, it is, and sure, and I've got to say, for the EU and APAC comps, I think we're pretty okay, only because you got 40 epic, officer charge, while the US got 2, 4, 6, 8. I think 8 epic officer.
Yeah, we got 2 of 4 We got 2 each of 4 officers.
Yeah, 2 each of 4. Yeah, so 8.
Oh, yeah,
which is not a lot. So they just need to be aware that if they can manage their compensation theory, whatever theory or mathematics or algorithm they use to make the compensation based on whatever region, based on whatever, I would implore you, please, Scopely, just take some quick wins. This is your chance. It's a great chance to take some great wins. Just give in there and saying, here you go, guys. Here you go, blah, blah, blah. Here you go, Sniper. 3 million Sigma trait. You can upgrade 1 module. No, not that will ever happen.
Would it have really hurt them? Yeah. Would it have hurt them to throw in a few trophies in there to let us convert them and pick and choose what it is we wanted out of those?
But
I mean, we could have got some more subspace relays. We could have got some more, whatever the case may be here to upgrade. There could have been a lot more that we missed out on US that they could have given us.
But the difference is, it's like if something doesn't run, Sniper brings up a good point. Give everyone the win. And I know you don't want to give everyone the win because it inflates the economy, but just give everyone the win. It didn't run. So everyone had a chance to win. What you've done is you've given what I believe sounds like the middle ground-ish thing. And Boom Beach says 500 subspace relays, which is nothing. I mean, I don't think you can upgrade the building level for that. But it's like, why not just go, here you go, guys, you've all won. Here are the amount of trophies in all the events. Here's the amount of things in all the events. And so what if people have a little bit of chance to pull it? That's the minimum floor. And then that rewards you to go, do you know what? Yes, they made an error. Right, I'm in. I'm going to play it the next time. Because you know what? It sounded like fun. Like listening to Ultravetica, I was, getting jealous because it sounded like it was like a football game or basketball game where, one armada could change the game. 2 armadas could change the game. I was intrigued in playing it, not sure if it's going to be good or not, but it'd be great.
I also wanted to try it, man.
Yeah.
Like, for us US people, I agree that the comp was extremely small. I was looking forward to trying the new point system. I was looking forward to being able to do things that, sure, it's just running armadas, right? But it was armadas with a PvP kind of standoff mechanic. Yeah. I was encouraged to try it. I was ready to, okay, so base rating's gone, but here we are. Let's give this a shot. And then when I get up, it's, oh, no, sorry, incursions. What incursions? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the key. And Joe Berg brings a good point up in Discord. He says, if you purchase a new car and breaks down, the dealership should be giving you a loaner until it's fixed. The first comp should be that loaner equivalent to the second should be for any impact in value. Exactly. So I'm hoping if you guys are listening in Scopely, again, done with kindness. I'm not throwing hissies. There's no, throwing toys out of the pram here. I'm just saying, just please consider it because I think it's about time you gave us a little bit back and you'll get a lot more back after it.
Joel.
Yeah, go on.
If I can on that, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things, so leading up into incursions, right? There was already a little bit of discontent or whatever, right? Anxiousness from the community of, they got rid of rating, right? So now you had, and again, I think maybe a vocal minority, maybe in the middle ground of, oh, I'm not going to play incursions. Okay, probably chances are they weren't going to play anyways, right? Yeah. So, okay, you didn't lose that part. But now, like MJ was saying, like, hey, maybe I wasn't in it before. And so, you know what? I don't know, but I'll give it a shot at it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
It ran into a technology issue and it failed.
Yeah.
Well, if I was on the fence about running incursions already, right? Because maybe I did play sometimes, and then now it's like, oh, they made a change, and I don't know if I like that. Am I really even going to play? And then you cancel it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to sit back and go, okay, so I wasn't probably there. Maybe I was. You canceled it because the tech sucks. I'm out for sure. Right? Like next time you run it, I'm probably not even going to come back. I'm just going to bubble and go to the beach.
Yeah.
But by giving at least that comp, maybe it's like, you know what? Okay, they acknowledged it. It's there. And maybe you got the win. Maybe you didn't experience it before. Like, hey, give the win to everybody because they know, hey, by the way, if you participate in incursions and we know you couldn't because of our fault, this is what you could get. Oh, now, next time you run it, I may come back, right? Like, hey, I'll give them a shot at it again. But you're not going to necessarily gain any more than what you probably already were, but you're sure as heck going to lose every time you run into this situation of players
true.
that are.
And we have our mid-ops Ghost Pepper saying, I really wanted to try the new mechanic, mainly because I had doubts with the new hitting limits and whether or not anyone would even be out in my range to hit it. While Jason V Sphere says, I wanted to try out Incursions just to see what it was going to be like. Didn't care if it was the same or different, just what was on the blog. And people wanted to try it. And I think, yes, people will throw and will say things in one thing, but they might actually want to just have a go in the other thing. If you gave us a good comp for everything, is that you guys will suddenly see more players coming back towards it. Having loads of zeros and no encouragement, which is why I'm not your businessman, I'm not your CEO, I'm not that. But what I'm saying is, if it was me and I'm doing a shoot over the weekend, I put my full staff on board, ready to go to make that shoot as comfortable and as smooth as possible, because that's how I would run the aspects of how I do my type of work. The same thing I suspected here with that, while APAC was struggling, I'd just put people on it. And that way more people will be involved, and making sure the mechanic runs as smooth as possible. This is where the playtest should be earlier. This is where you should invite different types of players in different things. And this is why we here are trying to find different players. Like we had Ghost Pepper, we had Clokey, who was at 53, Ghost Pepper at 50. We had someone at 55 approaching as well. What we've done is we're now trying to show you from every grade possible what they thought. Beachwell, do you want to jump in on this as well?
Yeah, I was just going to say on the conversation of the comp chess.
Yes.
Is, I'm going to pick, not even the arenas because got what we expected.
Yeah.
But my big issue right now is long running issues. We have surges.
Yeah, surges, yeah.
I haven't even ran an outpost now in a month. Can't even do my polls because why?
Yeah.
Why should I run them when it doesn't complete and I don't get everything I should? And I have no faith in Scopely that I'm going to get a decent compensation chest for the game not working.
Yeah.
Because they don't even communicate anything about it. They don't even go, been broken for this month. Let's give you comp chest at the end of the month. Still broken a month later. Let's give you another comp chest at the end of the month. That's what they should be doing. Not, we'll get to it when we fix it. We'll never fix it. We'll just never give you.
Well, they, sometimes
that's where I feel like we're at.
Yeah, so sometimes they don't say anything, or sometimes they say quite a bit. So on this one, it's that. So I hope they're listening. I don't want to throw anger, aggravation, or anything, or finger pointing in any way. I just want to kindly ask to genuinely consider how you do compensations and make them fast. Players, like I told you, minutes means hours, hours means days, days mean weeks. So if you imagine how people reacted in 3 hours, with Incursions, it felt like 3 days to them. So I would just do it fast. I'd have my basic. I'd be like, here you go, guys. Sorry about this. Here's 24,000 emergency rations right now. Right? Go ahead and do that while we have a look at it. And then we will send you a comp. And that is really important. Trying to adopt that style of saying, here's something really quick. I'm really sorry. Here it is. We're going to look into it. And then we'll come out with a comp. Giving that first little aspect, saying we're really sorry. We're giving you a discount on your food because your pizza wasn't cooked right, or Crisito was trying to pretend to flip it and he didn't flip it right. It's those lot of things.
And I don't know, Nigel, if there's a disconnect, right? Because I think one of the things, I look at it from a process perspective, right?
Yeah.
It's almost as if the live ops players, right, or the live ops team, like, that they probably want to be, hey, this isn't working. Everything's going on. It's headquarters is closed right now. Like, the heck with it. We see what's going on. We're just going to blast that out, and then we'll deal with the consequences afterwards. And instead, I think it seems as though live ops sees you guys get it as the moderators, right? Yeah. It goes to the live ops people. The live ops people got to call somebody that's there, page them, and run it through Pigeon to whoever. They've got to then figure out with their abacus to make the call. Then it's got to come back on via Pigeon, right? Like, that's almost what it seems like the whole thing is, as opposed to just let your people be able to see that, the closest to the players, which is your live ops, closest to the player, which are your community managers. They know what the players want. Let them go ahead and make those calls. And then you can figure out how to recoup on your side. If it really means that much from an economy manager, you'll be able to figure out how to make that work after the fact.
Yeah.
But true. I think the biggest thing is that I think it's like the process takes just way so long, right? That's the one thing that's killing us. And I think, I don't remember who posted it, whether it was you, Beach Whale, or whether it was Jim Pike. Somebody posted that, right?
Yeah.
That the time in the game is different, right? Seconds are quick, right? I mean, it's moving, and that's a big thing.
Yeah, exactly, and that's important. Hopefully, hopefully it's been a good learning curve, and it's a situation where they'll be like, okay, we need to change this, because they seem to be making sort of moves in a different direction with regards to communication. Seems to be making different moves that are getting to the point. But now you've got players here from all the way from the mid ops all the way up to the G7s all saying the same thing. And Matt Flat, who's in my alliance, who's absolutely great, 1974 DP, he says, I'm normally quite accepting and feel as a free-to-play I have a smaller voice, but I got properly frustrated by the lack of incursions more than readable words. The comp was okay, but didn't feel personal just at the minute. Yeah, so it just shows that people are upset about it. But hopefully this message goes to them, and we can make a point from that. And that will be a message that they will take on to heart and understand that we need to do that. Yes, Edacron, you jumped on as well.
It goes back to this. I mean, Connor's made that apology video about player trust. And I keep having those two words repeat in my head. And every time these issues pop up where they have some kind of debacle with how things are intended to perform and they don't. And then we get to this.
Yes.
A lax confidence. It would go miles if they actually gave serious consideration to how they can regain player trust.
Yeah.
I can't talk to players that I've had quit the game G6. I just had recently the most powerful player in my alliance just give up.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Can I add one thing there?
Yeah, sure.
Is with what he said is it also goes back to the beginning of 2025. Promised quality over content.
Yeah.
They haven't even come close to that. And I want to give you a competing opinion on communications getting better. They're not communicating about the at least as far as I could.
Yeah, about the import stuff. Yeah, sorry, you're always cutting out to beat well. Yeah, keep going.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, for example, I wake up today. My continuum refinery's missing. I have another alliance member. There's no out of chest polls, there's no token conversion polls. Where'd my refinery go? For the last 2 weeks, trying to repair ships has been frickin' night.
Yeah. So
did I click repair?
Yeah. So
I tried to use lap, and it's saying it's done.
Yeah. No, I think because you're speaking on the speakers, I'm just going to summarize it for people. Yeah. So Beach Whale saying that he had people like the continuum of refineries missing. He was clicking on a few things and clickers, and it's just taking time for them to sort it out. And they're communicating about the wrong things. No, I want to say, continue communicating from what you're doing at the moment, and please add further communications into the deep dive stuff. And it's okay. How many times have I said it? Would it hurt if you just came on and just said, hey guys, we're trying to do a fix for this Dauntless and we need your help? What a lovely way to start a sentence. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a fix in about an hour's time. Here's some surge starters. Please go and do some surges. And then, yes,
I think one of the things too, if I may, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things too is come out with some communication, right? Like, hey, we got something there. We're looking into it, and I get it. They have their canned ones. We're looking into it. Whatever it is, right? Those kind of things. I think the one other thing, and maybe some of that's going to be on our side too to help them feel this way, but I think they need to be able to put information out. And then when they get more information, be able to then put that out as well. Even if it's 180 degrees from what was there before. Like, hey, guys, we thought it was this. So we're going to do something. We're going to keep looking into it. And then here comes another message, right?
Yeah.
I think to some extent, it may contradict what they did before. And I think that's okay sometimes, right? But I think right now, partially because we do loiterism and nitpick and look for every eye and everything we possibly can, where they're looking at it saying, hey, I have to have the 99.9% exact verbiage of what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And before I put it out there, because if I do, and I put something out that might be wrong, i.e. like what we just had before, they're going to eat us anyways, right? They're going to eat our lunch there. And my thought is put it out there. And if you got to do a retraction or a correction, then you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, that's something that we, I think, also need to be able to look at and recognize, right? I mean, Hammy did one a while back, like with the Coda thing, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole necessarily.
Yes.
But that was one of those. Hey, at the time, this is what we knew. They made a call, whether I agree or don't, but guess what? Here's information about it. Yep, we were wrong before. Here's some information for you.
Yeah,
and exactly. I think as long as they keep telling us, then it's going to start building that trust. Even if there is sometimes a conflicting message, getting it out there quick and for us to digest is important.
Yeah, true. And Murphy asks what happened to the G3 refinery. Murphy, I will go and investigate that and come back to you with an answer, if that's okay, buddy. I did see you put it in before, and I didn't really look, I'll be honest, and I've just put it in my notes, something to look forward to, so I'll go ask, and if you can DM me on Discord exactly what the main issue is of it, and then I will do my best to try and figure out an answer, and if I can get an answer, great. If I don't, hopefully they will figure out whatever it is that's issue with the G3. Hopefully that makes sense. And, it's been tough subjects. We've gone through quite a lot today. And they're doing a good stuff. Does anyone want to jump in before at least I want to have a bit of fun with marbles and we give away non-KJ type stuff because KJ can never win. KJ did get gifted a mug, by the way, thanks to a certain person. So sorry, Crisito. It's not me. I just got to tell you, he didn't win though. But
I'm okay with that. Him getting a mug because of pity is okay, right? As long as he has to own that. But he hasn't won yet, so he doesn't get to wear that little banner or title of, hey, I've won a night of so. So I think that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, go on.
KJ's not allowed to win nothing, man. We don't encourage that here.
Yeah, we don't encourage KJ winning. Applewell says a very beautiful thing, and even retrieving is really happy with that. He says that is something definitely I liked. Instead of deleting like they basically said, our attempt to fix artwork is that there was a strike through, which was very, very good way of doing that, because now we're doubting the posts. Mark that down on the calendar as a great moment and a great thing. And as we transition across, and then we will go to the new video, and please stay with us because we want the numbers to send over and do it. Let's start our giveaway process. 1 of 5. If we start a hype train, we keep it going. Yeah, and a chance to do that. The fifth one will be a t-shirt. Exclamation point play into the chat. Let's go from now. Go. Exclamation point. So from Flossie onwards.
Nigel.
Yes?
Can you get me a Borg Sphere marble skin, please?
A Borg Sphere marble skin. Sure, okay, that sounds like fun. Come on in, people. Jump on.
Hey, you can get teddy bears. If you can get teddy bears in this thing, why can't you get a Borg Sphere?
Well, yeah, maybe we should ask the marble. Yeah, exclamation word play into the chat. Let's go. I'm very critical of this game because I love the IP.
Because Cottontail is a big subscriber to them.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah, do that. Applewell, if you can join our Discord, I'd love to have someone like you around. You have a very good, attitude towards it. Exclamation word play. Jump into the chat. Chance to win, to do stuff. If we can get the hype train going as well, we'll keep going and give away more stuff. The fifth one will be the t-shirt. So this is your chance to try and... Yes?
Don't forget, you can help contribute towards that by giving 50 bits and seeing people go all over the place.
Exactly.
Or like some of our bigger supporters do, spending lots of those at once and seeing thousands of actions all going off at the same time, and then it's just chaos.
Yeah, exclamation point bomb by Omega J. No, it's not a thing. Exclamation point play RSDJ. All right, here we go. I'm going to push the button for the first giveaway. Let's have a bit of fun, and then we'll raid out massively. So here we go. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. What a race this is going to be. Everything's coming through. Boost. Omega J's boosting early. He's trying to boost early. Here we go. Bits and everything. Here we go. What a way to kick off. MJ Hat's taking an early lead. Simon throws 100 bits. Through bits and throws MJ Hat through the hole. It's like watching the NCAA basketball championships. It just happened out of nowhere. Everyone's battling. Simon says he's at the back, trying to work his way
Sniper,
through.
you died. Sorry. Sandra, you died too.
Yeah, Sandra died. What a lovely thing. Everyone's dying. Look at all these deaths that are happening. We're trying to get to someone that's alive. And Lady is moving her way through. Lady
Did she take a shortcut? I think she took a shortcut.
She took a shortcut. She's up, down. Lady Batu's got a chance to win this. Lady Batu's got a chance of hell. Here we go. It's going across. Can Lady Batu do it? She goes out round the corner, past Mustachio Alley. What a battle that is. Increase celebration by 40 bits and 100 by Freelance.
Look
try
at
and
that.
stop Batu.
The barriers and bombs just dropped down right in front of her.
And Lady Batu wins. Lady Batu, what a victory. What 100
now,
bits by...
The rest of you have got to get a move on because the race will end.
Exactly. How many people will end? Netniv is even trying to make himself up there. Netniv is trying to work himself through. Quazel's actually looking like he's going to finish second, but Ascendancy's ahead of him. Look at this battle. Lady Batu and got himself going. Sugar Redless was second there. I know. It feels like it's being rigged, Mactaco. It feels like it's being rigged. But what a winner. Lady Batu won and is the only finisher of the race. Lady Batu Exclamation
Gotta be
point
fast.
Discord into the
And
chat.
how did you get to be second? You were nowhere near second.
Yeah,
You know, Jess being in third, yeah, we can accept that. But
yeah, exactly. Exclamation point Discord into the chat. Find me on the right-hand side, Nigel, exec producer, and DM me for your lovely mug. Mug number 1 down. And there's 3 to go. Let's see if we can get the hype train going. A couple more bits. Here we go. Exclamation point play into the chat. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Join, join, join. Exclamation point play. Chance to win. Oh, there's some lovely little marbles in there. Little cute, little marbly wobbly. Lovely
I'd like to
spheres.
customize my marble this time.
Yeah, I'm marbling at the wonders that I'm seeing. How about that?
You made the balls for that.
Relentless, you've typed all the words but the word play, which is very interesting. So maybe you should try that again. Jim P.I., free swag, you made it in. Exclamation point play into the chat. Let's see if we can throw more bits and get this hype train started. And we have. We've started the hype train, haven't we? Yeah, we have. Oh, whoa. Who's mute yourself? Here we go. Three minutes left in the hype train, and we're about to start. Cruzito's trying to get himself in so he can win a mug and then throw it in KJ's face. That's what he's going to do. He's going to put some water in it and throw in KJ's face. 10 seconds to go. Exclamation point play into the chat. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Who's going to be the winner? Are we going to have it? Ignaknikiki, 1980, you made it in. A Moth, you made it in very last minute. What a battle this is. And there's an early lead being taken here. J-Babes is trying to get ahead. Sandra's trying to get there. Simon Says throws 100 bits in. Omega J with 25 bits trying to cause some havoc. Afostis is moving across, and he takes a huge lead and goes ahead. Look at the boost that he received. Clarky, you just died. Curly Bracket, you just died. Really sadly, Curly Bracket. Really, really bad death. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Moving across, and STFC Raider! No gravity! And it's Stozio! The Italian Glaswegian's got a chance here. He goes past Mustachio Roundabout. Is he going to make it through? No, he messes up, and Retro Fury's going to head. Oh no, and someone blows up, and that's Mad Hatter. Dies a death beyond death. Poker Jester's got a chance here. Poker Jester's...
No.
It's like it's just like it's a chance to do this. Poker Jester's battling himself through. Ooh, and Sniper's got ahead. Sniper's got a chance here. Oh my God, Sniper's got a chance. Well, Poker Jester, Sniper now knows the tactic. He's going to work his way through. He's got a tactic. I know what Sniper's trying to do. He's gone past this. He's gone past a couple of really difficult bits to get through. Then Mustachio Roundabout, but Poker Jester's got ahead of him. Poker Jester's taking a minor lead. This is very interesting. Sniper and Poker Jester are battling between each other. Flossie's right behind him going, yes, I'm going to defeat you all. Yes, while Sniper's trying to work himself around the corner. Mr. Tony Sir with his lovely little thing. Oh, I need to change voices. Mr. Tony Sir with his lovely thing moving himself through. And Sniper's still in the lead.
Destiny for that kind of car, I think.
Exactly. Sniper's gone across. Look, you can see him from above. Sniper's about to win. I can't believe this moment's about to happen. Sniper, you've got a chance here. You've just got to make it through. The hoop is right there. You've got to make it, Sniper to win for the first time.
It's gonna happen.
He missed.
No, he just didn't have the speed.
No.
Didn't have the speed.
Oh my God. I think that's just taunting me.
Yeah, and retrieving wins. Retrieving. Sniper, all you had to do was just go through the hole. I mean, it was right there.
Get your ball in the hole.
I guess I can't find the hole in this game.
Hey, there we go. Everyone's died. Mr. Johnny Sir's died. Albatron's died. Poker Jester's died. MJ Hats died. E1E died.
Well, I was trying to figure out who to give the winning prize to, but it just says retrieving, so I guess we're going to have to wait for it to refresh.
Oh, boo. Sniper, slap him. Just please slap him. Just anyone slap him. Someone slap him. Retrieving, you won. Find me with that. You won a mug. Nice win there, buddy. You very well deserved. You've been a fantastic contributor here. Absolutely awesome. So Retrieving, find me on Discord. Right, that's DM me. I'll give you a mug. All the ship's mug, which would be lovely. All right.
Okay.
But 3.
This is time for a...
Oh, wow. Simon Says with 10 gifted, sending us in there. Exclamation point play into the chat. Oh, yeah, we have a hype train going. I completely forgot about the hype train. Thank you very much, Simon Says. You're keeping the dream going. This will go to the Battersea Cats and Dogs. Lovely little cutie.
And we have a prediction up. 30 seconds. Get your choices in.
30 seconds. Throw everything in there. Level 3 hype train. We've got a chance to do something really good here. Let's see if we can do that. Level 3 hype train, which only requires 1 sub to get through. You got 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Play it long. Here we go. Number 3. And get your predictions in. Exclamation point play into the chat. Exclamation point play. Mug. Sorry, switch back to laptop and didn't join me. I'm muted. No problem there, Beachwell. Quazel's made it in last minute. I'm about to press start. Here we go. Ascendancy's made it as well. Pressing start. You've got 8 seconds to join. Exclamation point playing to the chat. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Because we got to raid out to Mr. V Madness.
Wow.
A1. Here we go.
So prediction-wise,
yes,
nobody went from 0. Nobody went to 9. But it's split between 1 to 3, 4 to 6, and 10 plus. So.
Oh my God, this is quite a few battles going on. Simon says throws 100 bits. Mom Troy is in the lead, but some freelancer goes ahead. Some freelancer always throws 100 bits in the right moment. Try and do that. Everyone died. Simon says died. Crazy died. Jeff Games, you got dingled. Ooh. Ghost Pepper, you got ice. Some freelancers got a double boost. There's a chance here, but Net Niv hits a random hole into the ground. Net Niv is trying to make his well through. Is Net Niv going to win this? Net Niv's gone ahead. Some freelancer just gone. Crew and Mom Troy just died a death, beyond deaths you've ever seen. And here we go. Net Niv's taking the lead. Karasatach just died. Jeff Games just died. Net Niv's in the lead.
Keep away from me.
Ghost Pepper, you just died. Fox has died. J Babes died. And Net Niv just, you just watch him die. Just watch him all the way die. But some freelancer continues the dream. Some freelancer, you deserve a thing to go through. Some freelancers throw the 100 bits to try and get self through. This hype train is moving. We're on level 4. 4 minutes, 21 seconds to go. Some freelancers taking the lead. Some freelancers gone past the hole, which I just saw someone go through with a car, which is absolutely devastating. Killer Angel died. Free Swag died. I died. Ostis dies. Jim P.I. died. Now, some freelancers slowly...
He doesn't even watch the race anymore. He just watches for the deaths.
He exactly watches the deaths. Here we go. Some freelancers...
He just died, RSD. I said that.
Oh my God, just died a death beyond anything. Beltazoid died. Gandalf the Grey Fish is died. Everyone's working through. Some freelancer. Look at this. Some freelancer. You've got a chance in hell. Oh, he passed the hole of doom. He got past the trap door. That was the difficult part. The other part is he's just got to make it through the hole and he'll drop down.
How's the end look? Oh, it's a drop down, so it's going to be a very easy win if you can get there.
Yeah, exactly. What a battle. What a battle this is. And some freelancer just died through a bomb, which puts, of all people... Rizzbreaker, no, Crisito's taking the lead. Crisito's got ahead. Crisito's about to win. Crisito just got past everyone. Crisito wins it. Crisito wins it again. Crisito wins it. Yeah, everyone tell KJ Crisito just won yet another mug. And he tells KJ to kiss his patooey. Well done, Crisito. Well done, Crisito. Another mug. Crisito, you keep winning with me. I mean, you're going to end up having the whole wardrobe by the end of this. But you won a mug, and all the ship's white mug is absolutely lovely. Here we go.
And it would seem 1/3 of you got that right. Because it is 10 plus.
Exactly. It's absolute insanity. We've got 5 subs to get to the next level on the hype train. 5 subs to go. Not long to go. Here we go. Crisito just won. And prediction is we end up with 18 finishers. Panda Pirate finished last. But Panda Pirate did finish, though.
But he did finish, though.
It's 18th.
That was a double tap win for me, Nigel, because I not only won on the race, I won on the prediction too.
Oh, for God's sake.
Guess who else won off the prediction?
Who's that?
Rosito.
That would be me.
MJ had one as well. Here we go. Here we go. Exclamation point playing to the chat. Number 4 before we get to the T-shirt one. Number 4 before we go to the T-shirt. Here we go. Exclamation point playing to the chat. Everyone's trying to get himself in there. Here we go. We got level 4 hype train still going. We are, 5 subs? Yeah, because I've got it on easy. 5 subs to get level 5. We can finish level 4 and move on to level 5. 5 subs left in 1 minute 58 seconds. Exclamation point playing to the chat. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, the money is going to charity, which will be great for them. Khan Spalkorker, you make it in. Exclamation point play. Any last minutes? Come on. Chance to do it. Mr. Tony, sir, with his beautiful, beautiful car is in there. Kevin's is in. Exclamation point play. Let's go, Task Force Scorpio. Come on.
5 subs to get to level 4.
Only 5
with
subs.
90 seconds left.
90 seconds. The real Jim. Oh, but not Jim P.I., the other real Jim. Here we go. Press saying start. I'm going to press start. I'm going to press start. Exclamation point play. Here we go. 10 seconds to go. Exclamation point play. What a battle this is. Going to be great. I think MJ had made himself in. 3, 2, 1. And Sugar Relentless, you made it in before anyone could get in there. And what a way to kick off. How are we going to do this? 4 subs or more. 5 subs or more to get ourselves past this next level. We've only got 1 minute left on the hype train. Retro Fury's taking the lead. What a beautiful 100 bits by Simon says to cause a bit of havoc. Floyd Divino got boosted. Oh, for the first time in their life, sir. Panaman died. Evil XP died. Evil Smurf died. Jim P.I. died. Pyramid died.
Is it me or is It's Mr. Tony, sir, looking like he was stalking Retro down that race just
Yeah,
a little bit.
exactly. Mr. Tony, sir, battling.
And as soon as I said it, he went ahead.
Well, Gandalf the Greyfish just died. Gandalf's got to win once. Come on. And what a Bastille. 100 bits or more. 35 seconds left with 5 subs or more. 30 seconds left in the hype train. 5 subs or more. Here we go. Someone to make it. Someone can do it. If I can do it. And Simon Says does it. 5 gifted. Thank you so much, Simon Says. Keeps the hype train going. The dreams alive to Mr. Tony, sir. No, you got to go past the things. Thank you, Simon Says. He's given loads of people. Daniela Kaletach, Ken83, Open Ted, all these wonderful names that I can't even pronounce. None of them. They all sound like
Lady
pharmaceuticals.
Patui? He's now ahead.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Tony, sir, and Lady Patui. Lady Patui.
Hey, he keeps going after that, Patui.
Yeah, Patui. Patui's got a chance here. Lady Patui. Patui's gone past the difficult parts. What about the bomb is just there?
Oh, Retro's now catching up.
Oh, Retro, Lady Patui. Retro Fury's like trying to furiously get past and then gets blown up. Josh C and Retro Fury and Lady Patui just died. What a battle this has been. This has been amazing. Simon Says is trying to work his way through. Simon Says I think he's about to do a little tactic, but your earbugs is working his way through. Oh, here we go. Oh God. And your earbugs, Albatron and Simon Says they're all battling. Is Absy gonna win? Steve-O. You eat bugs. You'll
eat bugs.
You'll eat bugs is the winner. Simon Says you were second. So close. Unreal.
Damn it! I died.
Unreal. Everyone's dying. We ended up with Simon Says second. Oh. Yeah, RSDJ, you're right, got pushed over the line. Congrats, Bugs. Well done, Bugs. Exclamation point Discord into the chat. Yeah, join our Discord. Find me on the right-hand side, Nigel. And DM me for your mug. You won an All the Ships white mug, which is absolutely lovely and really wonderful to drink your morning coffee or disgusting tea. Well done. And there is the winner. We have 6 finishes. Okay. This is the 5th and final one, unless we get to level 10, which is for the T-shirt. If we can keep the hype train going, I'll keep going with mugs. Exclamation point play for the T-shirt one. This is the one to throw everything at. This is the one to try and win
6
it.
subs.
Okay, only 6 subs left. 6 subs to get to the next level. 3 minutes left on the hype train. Go. Exclamation point play into the chat for a T-shirt. Who's going to be wearing a delicious muscle fit T-shirt available from STFCbriefings.com. And then you can use your discount codes or anything like that to try and do stuff. Exclamation point play. Ooh, Quasel suddenly is awake and can do this. Triple X Bobby made it in. Albatron Steve-O's in as well, which is absolutely great. Here we go. Exclamation point play. Anyone else for the T-shirt? Here we go. I'm about to press start. Here we go. We're starting. 10 seconds to go for the T-shirt. Potentially the final race unless we keep the hype train going. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Iron Fister made it in time. Iron Fister always wins, so he's got a chance at the very last minute. Made it in. And Sammy Stitch is in the lead. Sammy the Snitch. Bright Tosh just goes ahead. What a battle this is. Bright Tosh has gone way ahead. Bright Tosh battling all the way through. Simon Thessos 100 bits in, trying to cause havoc and absolutely obliterating Dingles. Joe Erg retrieving got boosted. MJ had to die. Taco died. Bomb Beach died. Murphy got restarted, which might actually help him in the win here. And got a chance here. Kelrick's gone in the head. Kelrick is going to get... Oh, Kelrick just died. That was horrible. Netniff died. Sugar Relentless died. S. Wilson died. Poker Jester died. I died. Amika J died. Sammy Stitch died. Oh my God, so many people died. Thanks to some freelancers.
Fighting out in the beginning by the looks of it.
Yeah, 1 minute, 40 seconds left on the hype train. Everyone's just dying everywhere, left, right, and center. But are people going to fall down into the track? There's a few people falling down into the track. And Goofy did it. I think Goofy fell down.
Oh, somebody did. Yeah.
Exactly. See what happens. And it keeps going. What a battle this is. Oh, we're trying to get down. Come on. Push the button. And Goofy taking a huge lead. Goofy's got a chance to win. It's on his own.
What's the end like? Oh, it's the boosting one, is it?
It's the boosting one, and that's the bomb.
You don't want to go over?
Goofy.
Oh, God.
Free swag. It's got a chance. Kevin's is trying to get ahead. Kevin's about to win. Kevin's, this is your chance, Kevin's. Oh, you just got to make it through. Kevin's going with pace. Kevin wins. Kevin wins the T-shirt. RSDJ says, do I get a prize for dying 5 times in a row? No, you have to die 17 times minimum. So close, Goofy. Kevin's wins. Congratulations, Kevin's on a T-shirt. Find me out. The hype train's still going, so we got 30 seconds left. If you keep it going, we do another one. If we don't, we end right there and we go to the video. 30 seconds left. What do we need? We need 5 subs or 2.4 bits. 30 seconds to go, 20 seconds to go. Kevin's, you won. Congratulations on that one. What a way to do that. And is it a way to end? Got 15 seconds to make a decision.
Only 2 winners, Kevin and Evil Smurf.
Well, yeah, only 2 finishers, and Kevin's wins. Kevin's, find me for that. That's absolutely awesome. And Simon says, throws it last minute. Simon says, keeps us going with a mug. Oh, Simon says, you're such a wonderful woman. Never needed. Never, ever, it's so kind of you. That's going to go to the cats and dog. Okay, Simon says has done it. He's put us with another mug. So here we go. Exclamation point playing to the Discord. Kevin's, don't forget to DM me for your T-shirt. I would go for the legendary T-shirt personally. Or maybe a muscle fit. Simon says, thank you very much.
Legendary. Leg day. Leg day. What?
Leg day. It's just got so many meanings, Niv. It's just words.
I know. I can't read it once. I have to reread it, and it's just so annoying. Because I end up spending half the time just reading the cup rather than drinking my coffee.
Exactly. Excellent point. Play into the chat. Thank you so much, Simon says, for your absolute brilliant kindness. We will throw a mug in. Here we go. 8.
Hey, can I put in a swag request?
Yeah, sure.
I want to see a Jason turtleneck.
Turtleneck, interesting. I will look into it and see if I can do that. There is a very good Borg Sphere one coming in Tuesday. It's really cool. And I will try and put it on a sweatshirt as well. Confiance has got in, and I'm about to press start. Anyone else anymore for any more? Pressing start. Here we go. 10 seconds to get in. 10 seconds to get yourself in. Mug. Here's your chance to win another mug. Chance to do that. Well done, Kevins. Don't forget about the T-shirt. McShizman, Bomb Beach made it last minute. And they did. The battle begins. Mr. Tony Sir take an early lead. Mr. Tony Sir is using his super marble car of doom to try and get ahead. RSDJ and him are battling each other. You're tickling each other. You're touching each other. 50 bits or more to cause some havoc, but STFC Data Jess has gone in the lead. But then Jossie has gone ahead, working his way through. Wow, what a battle here. STFC Data Jess has gone ahead. What a chance here to keep it going. And here we go.
Go, Jess, go.
Jess is trying to make it. Thank you for following Shady Pines STFC. Lovely to see you, buddy. And here we go. Some freelancer throws 100 bits to try and cause some havoc, and Data Jess dies a death beyond any death you've ever seen. And Ostis got thrusted. Oh, God, right up to Patui. And then Lady Patui got dingled. And she went, oh, did you just dingle me, darling? RSDJ's in the lead. RSDJ's gone way ahead. RSDJ, Crisito, and Ascendancy are battling each other. J-Babes as well. Everyone's battling. Crisito's gone ahead again.
Very Jimmy Carla.
Exactly. Crisito's got a chance. Ascendancy missed a hole for the first time in his life. He actually is celebrating for missing a hole. And then Crisito, oh my God, Crisito can't win 2 in a row. Crisito can't win 2. I mean, Crisito can't. Kevin's has gone ahead.
He's just...
Kevin's gone ahead. RSDJ.
How is it all the winners are at the front?
I was just like, what's going on? Mr. Tony Sir's trying to get there. Mr. Tony Sir needs a win. Mr. Tony Sir deserves a win. Kevin's is pushing Mr. Tony Sir into the bomb. What a tactic that was. Caused the absolute havoc to put Ascendancy ahead. Ascendancy to win the mug. Oh my God, with 2 minutes left on the hype train, we're going to do this. Ascendancy's trying to battle his way through. Ascendancy's trying to do that. RSDJ's battling. Evil XP. RSDJ deserves a win. Is RSDJ going to finally do it? Is Evil XP going to make it to the hole? Is RSDJ... Evil XP has won. Evil XP is the winner. RSDJ was second. RSDJ, how close were you? Unfreaking real. And we got 1 minute, 30 seconds left on the hype train. As we're looking at the final bits, which is how many subs? 7 subs or anything else. Otherwise, we finish here with 1 minute, 20 seconds left. Well done, people on the finishes. What a thing. RSDJ, you lost your death streak. Now you can't win a T-shirt. Yeah, exactly. So RSDJ's now is double lost. Evil XP, you are the winner. You know me. DM me on Discord for your mug, which is a cup, which will be delicious. 1 minute left on the hype train. We'll see how that goes before we decide. Wow, what a battle that has been. And see how many finishers we have. Did Panda Pirate actually finish? Where is Panda Pirate? Panda Pirate, why do you, you've only won once, and, you could do it winning again. Iron Fisher was there, and anyone there. Well done. RSDJ.
6 wins. That's 7 wins in total.
For stream.
Evil XP. He's such a winner at the minute.
Yeah, he is great. He deserves it. 40 seconds left on the hype train. What have we got? 7 subs.
Having said that, yeah. I mean, can you actually click on the wins column, just out of curiosity? Does it work?
Where is the wins column? Season? No.
Right hand side.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Ascendancy with 8 wins out of 127 races. Ascendancy, you've got some luck.
Oh, look at there. See, I'm knocked off the top spot. So you can't all keep saying I keep winning everything. I clearly don't keep winning everything.
Exactly.
Other people
15 seconds left before we play our super video towards the end and say thank you very much. No hostage stream. Never going to happen. Guys, stay here. I want to give Jason V-Neck a really big raid. Help me out and stay here. Watch the video. I appreciate you all. What a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic stream. This has been great discussions, and we got our everything done. So I appreciate you all.
And thank you
and
very much for the hype train.
Yeah, thank you for the hype
train. And it's a goodbye from him.
And a goodbye from me. Let's go.
I believe in you, Jim. But there's not an ounce of humility in you.
You're afraid. I'm afraid of nothing.
And you're gonna get yourself and everyone under your command killed.
These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Their ongoing mission: to explore strange new worlds, seek out new life forms and new civilizations. To boldly go where no one has gone before. So glad the podcast is